Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe, and this is the Isles of Iverion. So, this week we have a lot of fun stuff in store. I'm sure the players will find it fun as well, and not at all awful. Sounded foreboding, because it was meant to be foreboding. So, with that, I think that I'm just trying to... I will say that Jamie will be here. He's just running a little late, running some errands, doing some things, but he'll be here as soon as he gets here. But we're just going to start without him. So, just trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. I don't think so. Oh, this is just a brief reminder that next week, so next Saturday, next Friday, and the following Tuesday. So not this next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday after that. There will be no Explorers of Ephera, Isles of Iverion, or Salamander Coast on those days, which are the 25th, 26th, and 29th, as Nalfian and I we're married and we're buying a house, and we're going to be closing on the 25th. Yep. So Nalfian and I will be moving in on the on the 25th, 26th, and still getting everything.
I would not want to live with Nalfian.
You wouldn't?
No.
I'd be willing to live in an apartment where I could break the lease at any moment, you know? Like, as long as I had an exit strategy, I'd be okay with living with Nalfian.
Valid.
Yeah. But anyway, or Alec, I'll be living with Alec, too, and Nalfian. Kind of breaking the mortgage three ways. It's pretty nice, actually. Gonna be a house husband? Oh, yeah, just, like, cook and clean, and while I... Never mind, this is a weird... this is a weird thing. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a heads up for that. So there will be Salamander Coast this Tuesday, but then the next 3 sessions, I'm not going to have those. So it'll be a week off for everybody here, while Kayla and I are taking care of that stuff. Oh, last thing before we start, tomorrow, June 20th, it will be not Nalfian, not Alex, but Kayla's birthday. So as is tradition with my players, whenever their birthdays come up, I give them a choice where they can either have a health potion for their perspective level. So at 5th level, that'd be a greater health potion. Or I let them have a point of DM inspiration. So Kayla, the choice is yours. Would you like a point of inspiration or a greater health potion?
Hold on, I'm getting over the stunned gif that Gemma just sent of my life flashing before my eyes. I'm gonna do inspiration.
Inspiration, okay.
Yeah.
Let me double check to see if that's already on your sheet. Yep, there you go. It's already on your sheet. That's so up in the top corner where it says inspiration next to proficiency, right by your armor class.
Oh, a little sun.
Yep,
okay.
It's red.
Neato.
So after you use it, just click on that and it'll fade out.
Cool.
All right. So now, happy... Okay, we're not
gonna... No, please, no.
No, yeah.
Show
okay.
the delay, be beautiful.
Oh, all of the lag of everybody trying to batch up with each other. It's almost worth it to hear, but sadly, we don't have enough time because we got a lot of stuff we got to get to tonight. So I say we roll the intro, and then let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty. So, and during the intro, guess who joined? None other than Jamie. So, perfect timing, as always. So, sip of water and let's get into it. Picking up where we left off our group of adventurers, they had been traveling from Dragon's Bay to Highland Pass. Now, in order to get from one city to the other, they had to travel through the dangerous, fiery forests of Isanalor. Now, luckily, they were able to manage their way through there, meeting some allies, making some enemies along the way. Notable enemies being the insectoids, these ravenous creatures made of different culminations of different insect parts, and truly just a terrible sight to see and to have to fight against, as they are unrelenting and a hive mind, always working together, working off one another, and always seeming where all of you are, at least when they are all there. So you've made a very, very strong enemies with them, as you've killed a lot of insectoids. But your purpose from traveling from Dragon's Bay to Highland Pass was to find two things. For one, the Watcher on the Wall, the leader of the cultists within Highland Pass and the surrounding area, and the Lily of the Valley. The way this adventure was started, all the way back when you were still in Sand Point, when your adventures first began, there was a lily that you were sent to find. Two of you were sent by, Grok and Twig actually, were sent by Bishop Vizira, a dragonborn who ended up being a cultist for House Markle, sent you to get the flower so she could use it to heal the people in the surrounding town, which was a lie. And then the other group of you were sent by a pirate, or at least a privateer, someone with a lot of infamy, who sent you to retrieve that flower and make sure that it didn't get into the wrong hands. He didn't want it. He just wanted to make sure that it would not fall into the wrong hands. Sadly, it seems as though in this case, the pirate was correct. And sadly, it has fallen into the wrong hands. And you know that this flower has an ability to transpose life. It can either cause a great deal of harm, or it could, as Bishop Vizira lied to all of you in the first place, it could cause a great deal of healing. But sadly, in the hands of the cultists, you have a very good feeling that it only will bring harm and death. So you've been on a mission to, for one, find that flower, for two, find the Watcher on the Wall, and then with a side mission of finding the Dowie ruins located within Isinalor. Now, you were right at the cusp of going to the ruins, those Dowie ruins, but then you decided, after some conflict within the group, that instead going to Highland Pass and making sure that if you left click and drag and not near a token, you will unselect Din. Just in case, because I see someone say only Din. So just, that's how you unselect tokens for future reference. Anyway, so they've then decided to head to Highland Pass, not in search for the Watcher on the Wall or the Lily of the Valley. No, please stop. But instead, on the lookout for seemingly an ally of the party, or at least a friend, someone who is willing to give them a safe place to stay in the evening. Geldevan Tark, a hobgoblin, same as Grok, who was seemingly living in Highland Pass for a while, but some time ago, her and her people were terrible things had happened to them that she wished not to discuss, and she left, at least as far as she told you. However, a lot of her story was brought under question after a brief interaction she had with Grok, and Grok alone. Telling Grok that it is best if he does not go to Highland Pass, that if he goes, then she cannot protect him. She can't save him. And more importantly, can't do anything to protect Grok's friends. Grok obviously is a little... He gets quite an odd feeling about that. And he tells the group, and with that, they decide that there are people's lives in stake in Highland Pass, and the Dowie ruin is a ruin. Whatever is locked inside of there, provided the cultists haven't already found it, is going to be in there when they go back. So they turn around a little bit and they begin to head south towards the mountain range, so that way they can head then west towards Highland Pass. And that's exactly where they are right now, as they had just arrived on the edge of the mountain range. leading to Highland Pass, and from this point can head straight west. Now, they have camped for the night on this area, and the last thing that happened during our session last week was that you all met a mysterious merchant by the name of Merchant. Merchant seemed like a rather kind individual with several bags of holding, carrying many different magical items and selling them to not just adventurers like yourselves, but also people who are those that collect magical artifacts and oddities. So you make your deals with him, you buy a few things, and he goes on his way, and then seemingly magically disappears into the mist of the snow behind you, leaving the rest of you with your journey to Highland Pass. So that's right where we're going to pick up. As all of you are waking up in the morning, you have your interaction with Merchant. The Leoman's tiny hut begins to fade, and you all prepare yourselves. So in the morning, as you're waking up, Merchant just leaves. Is there any morning rituals any of you would like to accomplish? Any conversations you'd like to have before you head off into the dangerous mountain ranges of, well, technically, at this point of Tarkir, as moving from Isanalor to the mountain range, you're technically in Tarkirian territory. So, what do you want to do? What does the morning bring you, or is everybody just going to be quiet and and leave?
Well, I mean, if you let us talk, Togo will go over to Din a little sheepishly.
So, are we still able to do it now?
Yes, if you wanted to. Now, I will say that I would only want to do it once, as the spell that I can do where I summon that dome. It seems like, especially if we're out here for more than a day or so, we'll want a warm place to camp since we don't really have any tents. But I can do it one more time.
Well, hopefully it only needs one more try.
And I shall once again send the message.
Oh.
Exactly 25 words.
Oh.
Yes, should be.
Mama! Just kill
Get out
the
of here.
man! Oh. That is so sad. Okay. Okay. All right. So, with that, you walk over to Din. He begins to cast the spell. You channel the magic through him, and you speak the words. So, what... You do get a response. Let's see here. Okay. Just want to double check a few things here real quick. All right. So, you, like I said, you receive a response. I've never been upset with you. I just wish you had more time to grow. in the city of Traversey, find a woman. Isabella Harwood. Good luck. It's 25 words.
After hearing that, she's probably just gonna be stunned for a hot minute.
Mhm.
And that city, that's in Turkey, right?
That is, yeah. So there's Highland Pass, and I guess I can pull you guys to the map real quick. Oh, I never pulled up the maps. Oopsie. Let me just pull them up real quick so we have a pretty good idea. Toggle navigation. Toggle navigation. So let me just go to the ones that are marked here. Ooh, that's a bug right there. Okay. All right. So pull all to scene. Hopefully this will work and it won't break Foundry. Sick. Okay. So, under the House of Lapierre, both of those cities are under that jurisdiction. So, Highland Pass is obviously this mountainous city right here. But then Vitronet, or Travassy is this one right here.
So it's like close.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep. So I'll go ahead and just to give a little bit of whoa. So that is where those two are. Whoa. So that is the information that you receive. Den kind of looks and well then, I guess you have a direction then. I mean, that's not too far away from Highland Pass. That's something that, I mean, we could maybe get to in a couple days, a week at the most. It's something.
Well, I suppose we need to head in that direction anyways, so... Yeah.
Good. Do you want to tell the others, or...?
I think I want to think on this first.
Okay. Just remember, secrets. Whenever someone keeps secrets, they think they're doing it for the good of the other person. But in all reality, those people, they're the ones who are going to be able to help you the most. So take time, think. But remember, all of us, we're here for you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So Yumi kind of takes that sword and sheaths it back to its sheath. And then we'll go
Another
back
little
to...
car is coming his way before once it's done that.
Wait, you said what now?
Oh, another little hug is coming his way
Oh, okay.
after he's done that.
Oh, yeah, okay. So he'll kind of, after he sheathed the sword and you kind of grab him, he'll, of course, hug you back and kind of rub your head a little bit. Just between you and me, I don't mind looking like a soft lad, so it's okay.
Well, I feel like it's a little different looking at you and, well, nothing and Grok.
Well, still, I think that might be something that the two of them might need to get over. But not my place to say. I think the only person who could persuade them would be someone like you.
I'll give a little grin back.
Okay. Alrighty. Cool. So, with that, all of you packing up your supplies, gathering all your items, anything else anybody needs to do, or is that it?
I am good.
I am good. All right.
So good.
So good. So good. Bow, bow. So good. Bow, bow. All right. Let's do it.
Now, didn't Merchant say that we'd be there within a day or a couple days? Within a day, right?
It was a couple days.
Couple days.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then nah. Nelvin would definitely just want to get going as soon as possible. Use as much of the daylight as we can.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. So, with that, you begin to sort of descend down this small cliffside. And luckily, you don't have to scale down anything, but it is very, very tight, winding paths through these thick, dense, evergreen trees stacked 20, 30 feet high. And actually, huge mounds of snow surrounding you on all edges. So, you begin your travels to Highland Pass. Alrighty. There we go. Look at all you guys down there. Okay. So, with that, you begin your travels thusly. Now, the nice part is it seems like these areas in particular, I mean, as far as you can tell, especially somebody like you, Twig, along with Quilp, there is like absolutely no life, like no tracks, no nothing. Like every once in a while, you maybe hear some type of bird tweeting or something like that. But other than that, it is dead silent aside from the sound of your own boots in the snow. That crunching noise of the snow crunching underneath your feet. So, you begin your journey. Now, one of the odd things that you notice along the way is every once in a while you see these intricately carved pillars, these shafts of stone sticking up out of the ground, almost like an altar. And you can see that within any of the basins that you pass that are near these altars, they're full of things, knickknacks, items, little pieces of cracked gemstones, pieces of gold in some cases. Other time it's like rabbit's feet and like jerkied meat. It's a collection of a whole bunch of things just thrown into these small basins, with all of these intricate drawings and carvings all along each one of the pillars. It's just something interesting, and you pass probably about 5 or 6 of them just within the first 4 to 6 hours of your journey, just walking along, and this is the only sign of any type of life that you see along the way.
Are we on some kind of road, or is it just heading through?
You're just kind of traversing through the trees.
So it's not like way markers in any way. These are just random.
Yeah, they're very sporadic, you know. Some of them you see maybe 45 feet away from the current path that you're on. Some of them are literally in the road, like to like where you're walking, just right in the middle, sort of appear there.
Can you like see what's like depicted on them?
That's the interesting. There's no drawings or anything like that. It looks like some type of script, and I believe I checked this already, but let me just go ahead and check again. Languages. Oh, actually. No, of course. Okay, so they're in Draconic, and Din is the only person that speaks Draconic. And as you're walking along and you sort of are looking at these pillars, Din will kind of like cock his head as he's just sort of looking at them in a little bit more detail than some of you. That's odd. These are... It's a little more difficult to read. It seems like a very old script of Draconic. I'm only getting bits and pieces. But it's talking about some type of great overlord, a ruler
Well, that doesn't sound good.
with a emerald crown. I don't know. And he kind of looks at the basin and looks back.
Now we'll throw a coin in it.
Clink, clink, clink. Clicks in with the rest of the things in the basin.
All right, Din, what do I win?
Well, and you see him kind of look around, tracing along some of the runes with his fingertip. Salvation, apparently.
Funny.
Apparently,
That's it?
Whenever the great Lord returns, those who pay the proper penance will be given salvation.
Well, I'm gonna need a lot more gold where that came from. All right, well, anything else that we should know about these things, or?
No.
I mean, things like that usually don't want gold, to be fair.
It's true. Let's see. No, it's just... It's almost like a song, really. A lot of the phrases, at least translated into common, have a bit of a rhyme to them. I don't know. Tarkir's been around for a while, so these could have been some of the most earliest people. Draconic overlords? I don't know.
And can we like see if the offerings that have been placed, like, have they been there for a while, or do some look like they're only recent?
That's the thing that piques your interest a little bit, is sort of Twig is looking at it and listening to Den. You can see that the things that are inside this basin, there's nothing covering them. Like, it's snowing all around you, but you can see that as if there was a small wind gust constantly there. It's just sort of any of the snowflakes, they just kind of fall off to the side, and nothing lands inside the basin.
Now Finn's gonna like look over to Quilp and just say, "Any of this ringing any bells for you, or?"
Quilp's got his hat pulled over his head and he's got his kind of arms wrapped around him, and he's not enjoying being covered in snow. I don't know much about up here. Cold. Have I heard anything, Joe, about ancient dragon overlords or anything? Would you have read anything around that?
Yeah, go ahead and make a history check.
Sure.
Now, this is a check unique to Quilp, actually.
Because I'm weird.
Oh, that was
You
almost
did.
almost a 20 on my screen. Okay. 8. Yeah, I mean, you do know that there are a lot of people who put a lot of trust in Bahamut and Tiamat, the sort of classic entities that are representative of all dragonkind, not just chromatic or metallic, but both of them. They sort of symbolize the two halves of the entirety of dragonkind. But I mean, pillars in the middle of seemingly nowhere near a mountain range. I mean, sometimes dragons, they'll keep their hordes inside of a mountain, but yeah, it doesn't exactly
Nothing,
ring any
nothing
bells.
specific.
No, yeah.
When, oh, you don't know nothing about no Emerald Crown, and to be honest, I only dragons I've heard of is like Tiamat, Bahamut, all those big bads in the old days, but I don't know nothing about this. Sorry.
Well, best not to worry about it, I guess.
I mean, I
Maybe
don't
drop.
know much about up here, but are there any dragons around nowadays? Have you had, do you know anything about them?
Well, I surely don't, and I hope to hell there's not.
There are dragons around generally. Don't know about here.
Maybe we should
Perfect.
drop a little something in every time we pass one. It'll scare the little dragons away.
Wouldn't hurt, would it? So keep moving.
Now, I'm just gonna kind of like nudge Din to stop looking at it, so we can just move on.
Yeah, of course. Of course, yeah. And he'll kind of, still staring at it and reading some of the things, stand up and then linger eye contact on it a little bit, and then break away and rejoin the rest of the group.
Yeah, I mean,
Are
if we
we
pass
still
more. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just wondering whether we're still using that magic leaf to move quickly, or whether we kind of moved out of that.
No, sadly, there's no more of that flashing of light, that sort of transposing or changing of scenery around you. This is definitely more traditional land travel, as you're just sort of moving along at a very, very slow pace. No magical aid here.
Okay. Philip's not happy about that. He occasionally takes out the leaf and kind of gives it a shake and focuses on it, but nothing seems to happen.
Yeah, if we pass more of them, Knopf will just kind of like flick a coin or two. Expecting something to happen, but kind of shrug every time it doesn't.
Okay. So I will say that on your journey so far through this day, like once you probably get to our, I'll probably say like 7 o'clock, right as the sun is beginning to set, and you haven't encountered anything, you would have probably passed about 17.
Bruh.
So do you throw a gold in each one of them?
Yeah, I mean, Nalfin would absent-mindedly do it. He's doing okay on gold, so like it's not gonna be that big of a deal.
Okay. All right. So
It's more of like an absent-minded, I'm tired of walking in the snow kind of thing, because it gives him something to look forward to do.
okay. All right. So yeah, just every time you pass one, you toss a coin in there.
Okay.
All right.
It's gonna save his soul. He needs it, so.
All right. So, the rest of you continue on with your journey. Eventually, as the sun begins to set, you begin to crest over another mountainous ridge, very similar to the first one that you originally climbed over, originally arriving in the mountainous ranges of Tarkir. But now, as you eventually climb over one more cliffside, and you begin to see one heck of a sight. Just as the sun is beginning to set and you can see the moon begin to rise slightly, this ledge that you come across, you see an awe-inspiring sight. You see what looks to be a mountain across a great pass. You can also see what look to be remains. I mean, it's very obvious a skeleton, but larger than any skeleton you have ever seen, period. And embedded into the rib cage of that skeleton is this massive greatsword. Let's see this.
Is that the one merchant wanted us to get
Oh my word, that's what a merchant was talking about. Yes.
There's no way. Bless his soul, but absolutely not.
Asked if there was anything you could get.
All
One
we
thing
could
you
think
wanted.
of.
If Grok was big again, maybe.
I wonder if he can fit it into one of those magic bags he has as well. And then carry it around. That'd be something to do, wouldn't it?
All you can
I
see is
wonder who's going to buy it off him. Who's going to use that?
Alvin's gonna like look to Din and just be like, "Is this connected to this dragon thing? Maybe."
And you can see Den is thinking, and Den Quilp, you can also make a history check, but Den is going to make one as well. Now history, where's history at? Oh, +4. All right.
Need the smart people. Oh my god!
Well, it's cold. No
Please.
one's thinking too hard.
Yeah.
Okay?
My dice is stuck on a 2.
Yeah, and you spread your disease to me now. So
It's too cold to think about this. Forget about it.
yes, Quilp, it is indeed too cold to think about this. Oh. All
One
right.
of the things about being above ground is that it seems to change all the time, whether it's warm or cold. Whereas, at least when you're down underneath, it just stays kind of the same, and it's not so much fun. This.
No, I would give about anything right now to be at a warm fire and as
all right. Forget about it. Well, probably not important anyway.
I tell you what, they might have some information about it in Highland Pass. We could always ask at the library because we need to go there anyway, don't we? Because Brentwick, you're wanting to go there, aren't you? So that we could ask about it there. Maybe find out about the Emerald Crown and things. There's all kinds of questions we could ask.
that is true. Actually, Quilp, I just thought of something.
Yeah.
Have we told you why we're going to Highland Pass aside from what Twig wants?
Well, no, I was going to ask you this evening when we got a fire going and we were in that delightful kind of enclosed space that you managed to create. Because to be honest, I can't think quite straight while we're in all this cold and horrible weather. Because I have to be honest, my friends, I got absolutely no idea what on earth's going on. I kind of arrived with you all and thought, oh, I found you, and I've kind of been sent to do something, but I still got no idea what it is. So, yeah, I was thinking of asking a few questions later.
Well, it's late enough now. I can summon the dome now if we'd like to rest here. I mean, look at this site. How can
Yes,
we say no
please.
to it?
Seems a little grim to be resting right in front of it.
Well, I mean, look at it. We're gonna be singing no matter where we're at.
So we'd have to walk for a fair old way to be away from seeing that now, wouldn't we? So,
All right, Din, make it happen.
All right. And with that, Din will summon the Leoman's tiny hut, so all of you can begin to rest for the evening. So with that, sun sets, moon rises, and you can see that one of the interesting things as Din finishes casting the spell and the sun eventually kind of officially sets after that conversation, one thing that's really interesting about that giant remains is this almost like, and Nalfian and Quilt, this is something you'd be very familiar with just from your time in the Underdark and seeing ore veins in rock. But it seems like the entire skeleton of that creature embedded with that sword seems to have these small streaks of some type of mineral embedded into the bone somehow that is only illuminated by moonlight. And it kind of gives off a very, very soft, dull glow over the entire corpse. But notice that the tiny hut is summoned, and the temperature inside is a very nice 70 degrees Fahrenheit, or
Thank you so much, friend Din.
21 Celsius.
Cheers.
Of course. Happy to help. And then we'll kind of settle in, take off his sword, begin to take off bits and pieces of his armor, and say, well, how about we do this? Well, for one, obviously, this isn't my story to tell. I'm only a recent addition to it as well. So I think that what might be...
Alfion does that, like, rub back of his neck thing and looks at Eurydice to explain.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, why don't you just let Quilp ask whatever questions he might have, and then go from there.
Oh, indeed. I don't need to know your entire life story. I suppose what's most confused me is I thought we were going to try and find some artifact, and that seemed to be what was happening. But now we're not, and there's something about House Markle. I don't know, anything that might make me understand what your purpose is. And he kind of looks around at the group because it seems a little confused.
Thing. It's not that bad once it's explained. We are still looking for the artifact. Markle is still important though. The entire reason we are looking for the artifacts, because House Markle are trying to use them to rise back to power. House Markle are bad. We don't want that. We have been told to stop that from happening. We are getting these artifacts, and then we're meant to bring them to the College of Halfcrest so that they can put them in a vault and keep them safe and away from people who'd want to use them to do bad things.
Right, I know Quilp's asking, but why the fuck would we give them to someone else? Let's just fucking destroy them afterwards. If they're so bad, why the fuck would you give it to someone else?
Do you think you can destroy one of these? Do you think you have the power to do that?
I mean, I hit through fucking rock to get through to the part under it.
Well, yes, but we are using them to do good things. Without the artifacts that we possess, it's very possible we wouldn't have been able to get as far as we have. It stands to reason.
I'm not
other people can
saying
use
that.
them.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying after we've got them all, let's fucking get rid of them.
Other people can
don't
use
think
them to do good
yeah.
things.
And either way, these are some of the last few things from the Dowie, so it seems unfair to just destroy it all. I mean, the civilization's already gone, so whatever's remaining should at least be protected.
What harms it if they're already gone?
Don't know where they are. They could be wanting to come back, and by the logic of people can use these to do bad things, we may as well get rid of all magical things.
Never said that. But we've seen what they can do.
Well, I don't really think it's a matter of what we do once we get them, because we don't have them all. See, that's the key to this, and Elf's just kind of like looking between Grok and Eurydice. We need to find them all before these cultists do, because, as Grok so nicely put it, bad shit happens with these things. If the wrong people are using them, bad shit happens. So we're going to gather them all up and do something with them, so the cultist, House Markle, they can't. But Highland Pass has become the priority. Because one of these... Well, technically this isn't an artifact. I don't think this flower we think is in Highland Pass. And there's a cultist by the name of the Watcher on the Wall who is also in Highland Pass. So if this flower that is very powerful is going there, and if this Watcher is there, and now our new friend is also going there, potential problems could arise. People could get hurt. It could make what we need to do a hell of a lot more messy.
So your friend, forgive me, was it Geldovin? Who turned out to be something or have powers and not quite so good. So she's going there, and that's why we now are going there after her?
It's not that she's bad.
No. Okay, we don't know that she's bad.
But we said she's going to hurt a lot of people and is also
Well, doesn't mean
with the
she's bad.
cultists.
We've hurt people. Doesn't mean she's bad.
You also threatened.
She's also
me
killed
with us.
cultists.
Don't know that.
We have decided we're
How
gonna
about you
talk to
fucking leave
her.
Gelderven to me, alright? That's
Why
enough of that.
not?
So, forgive me, friend Grak. I still don't quite understand why we're going to Highland Pass.
There are people that are potentially going to get hurt, and we're going to stop that because Galdovan wants to hurt them.
We're gonna
So
talk to
you are going to
Galdovan.
stop Geldervin? Oh, okay. All right.
We're
I'm going
going
to try and find her and talk to her.
Correct. We're going to speak with her and figure out what exactly she wants to do.
Okay. Could we not use your friend Din's magic to talk to her?
Point.
Well, I could have used it earlier, but sadly, I'm all out of spells in the current moment.
Oh, of course, of course. No, sorry, I didn't mean to. I just wondered if what we wanted to do was talk to her and try and persuade her that maybe you wanted to meet with her or something. We could maybe send a message, and
Well, the problem
it
is
seems
with
that she can move around very quickly, whereas we, it seems, can't. And maybe she could meet us somewhere.
Maybe. That's a good idea. I just have a feeling she might not want to talk to some of us.
Oh,
Go on, Din.
okay.
I could message her in the morning. I could do that at least.
Grok, would you be willing to arrange a meeting with her?
No. I wouldn't.
Well, then I guess we're going to Highland Pass.
Why
And
wouldn't
Rock's
you
like
arrange?
gritting his teeth.
Friend Grak, you seem very upset. What are you wanting to do?
I don't know. But I really fucking appreciate everyone keeps saying, oh, she's bad, she's bad. I've had fucking bad shit happen to me. Are you gonna call me bad next?
What do you
Same.
actually know about her that definitely wasn't a lie?
That she's one of fucking me. And that's all I need to know.
I think that regardless of whether she's bad or not, she's doing bad things at the moment, and I think that's, well, if we can do anything to stop that, it'd be better for her, and it'd be better for, well, everyone that would have been hurt anyways. So I don't think it's a good idea to just not even try to talk to her.
Which is why we're going to Highland Pass. Everyone just needs to take a big fucking breath, alright? We're gonna talk to her. We don't even know what she's doing.
Okay. Well, that seems we're going to Highland Pass away. I know that friend Twig wants to go there for other reasons as well, so it seems anyway. Your eyes, Grok. Maybe things will become clearer when we're there.
Hopefully things will become clearer. That's all we can hope for, really. Well... And is just eyeing Grok and Eurydice making eye contact.
All right, let's just fucking go to bed, everyone. You're all driving me up the fucking wall. Fuck off. Go to bed. We'll get there in the morning, and we'll figure it all out. Not everybody jump at once.
Fine. Still maintaining eye contact. And then she's gonna turn and she's gonna go to bed.
All right.
Alf's gonna immediately go over to Grok. What gives? We said we were gonna talk to her.
We can. But I don't like the fucking attitude that's been given towards her. She's just doing what she thinks right. She's had a lot of shit done to her. And I don't like this fucking perception that just because she's getting one even, that we're all fucking bad.
I get it. I don't know what's going on with her, but I don't think that's the thing. I just think nobody's willing to trust anybody right now. We don't have answers. And because of that, it's better to just play it straight down the middle. Don't push us away. I have your back, and I know you have mine, but we're here. She's not. And Nalf's gonna just kind of give him a pat on the shoulder and let him simmer down.
Okay.
I was also wanting to go over to Grok. She would have waited for that whole thing. She wouldn't want to interrupt. But she just go over, and she's just gonna give me a little hug.
For what it's worth, I thought she was a nice person when I talked to her.
Well, she might still be. Thank you.
She's just gonna go to bed as everyone else is, I guess.
Philip's just gonna sit there, watching what's going on. His eyes are big as little saucers, and he's just fiddling with his glasses constantly and looks completely confused. Then eventually he's just gonna pull his hat down and curl up in a little ball and go to sleep.
Yeah, okay. All right. These people are insane. Yeah.
I answered so many questions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Quilp was just like, hey, so why are we doing this? And then everybody started yelling.
That's brilliant, you all. That's absolutely genius.
Okay. Alrighty.
In the morning, because I know Nelf and Eurydice only need 4 hours of sleep. He's gonna try to get to her in the morning before everyone else wakes up.
Yeah.
To prevent either one murdering each other. Okay.
Always wakes up, goes by the fire, and then we'll just read until like everyone else wakes up.
Okay, then Nalfian, when he's done meditating, sleeping, he'll just kind of walk over, look around to make sure everyone else is still asleep, and just kind of sit next to her. Good morning.
Morning.
Can you do me a favor? I understand. She didn't make the best first impression. But we don't know her motive. Grog has this, he really doesn't have the best thought process about why you think the way that you do about Galdivan. So, let's just get there. Let's not talk about it anymore. And let's not make assumptions about anyone. Alright?
I don't understand why we haven't cared about anybody else's motivations until now. We met her for 2 seconds. She let us stay around a fire. Then we know she's killed innocent people working with the cultists that we don't know she also killed. She's threatened us. We know she's gone to Highland Pass to hurt people, and we know that she told us some bullshit story. We don't even know if it's true.
Eurydice.
We don't know that they took her leg. She could have been lying, and Grok is basing his entire
Eurydice.
perception.
Eurydice. Grok's a fucking pirate. You know how many times he's threatened you, me, countless people? You know how many people he's probably killed? But when you met him, you didn't run away. You didn't immediately distrust him, did you? What about me? What do you think when you look at me? You don't think that I've lied? You don't think that I've killed people? Everyone has their reasons, Eurydice. Let's just get there. And I will gladly eat my words. And he's just gonna, like, very lightly kind of give her a little squeeze on her shoulder and just kind of walk away.
Okay. She's not gonna say anything. She's just gonna look at the fire. Really it.
Okay. Alrighty. Papa Nauf.
Such a weird vibe.
Papa Nauf. Alrighty. So with that, all of you eventually do wake up that next morning. Dawn comes as all of you wake up. The orb is dispelled, drops that cold temperature, comes back, and you need to set out on your journey. This morning there is no strange merchant who comes to your doorstep. Instead, just cold winds. And let me see something real quick. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. I need to check passive perceptions. Passive perception. Okay. All right. So all of you wake up. You sort of once again look towards the giant remains, and you don't linger on it too long, as the sight of it makes you uncomfortable. For one, something that big, and then for two, apparently there probably was something bigger that killed that thing. So you just kind of stare at it, and then you don't linger on it too long, and packing up your supplies, you head out, and unless anybody has any morning conversations about the weather or other things, continue on. Anything?
Nalf's just trying to avoid Eurydice and Grok. Let them simmer. So he'll like walk like by Twig and Quilp instead. But he's not gonna say anything, he's just gonna walk.
Alright.
Well, we'll walk next to where Twig is, trying, it's kind of trotting along, trying to keep up. Friend Twig, I wonder if I might ask. It seems that you've got other things going on, and I'm just trying to find out how I can be helpful. But you were very worried the other night, and trying to find things out. Is there anything I can help with that?
Well, I mean, I suppose if you could help me when we get to the library.
Oh, I'd love to. I can certainly show you where it is. Now, mind, I've never been in, but I know where it is, and I'll be very happy to take you there. What kind of things are you looking for? I know a few bits. I did go to school. I did learning.
Looks away. It's just talking.
Well, I guess information on the house forester and
Fuck, what was the land's name? Trash.
Wow, Gemma. Wow. So you are looking at
Hazran Hollow. Is that it?
Hazran's Hollow, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Ha. The DM will remember that.
and
What was the house
anything on the
called?
land Hazran Hollow. House forester.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've known a few bits and bobs around when I've been around town, but I don't know if I've.
Yeah, Quill.
Anything, Joe?
Yeah, I was just about to say, make a history check.
It's gonna go well.
If it's another 2.
Oh, we're gonna throw the dice away. Oh no, can't. Oh no.
Yeah, that's the. Oops. 12.
6 and 12. 40?
Okay. So you get a little bit that you can kind of recall as, and the only reason is because it was one of the bordering houses of Tarkir. So House Forester specifically, you do recognize that name. They were a nature-loving people. They were one of the prominent houses, several, maybe as of about 100 years ago, they were very prominent, and then they slowly started to decline. In terms of Hazran's Hollow, you do know that there was some type of... there was some event that happened there that was rather catastrophic to that land and those people, which is why it is all very treacherous, poisonous, foggy swamplands now with many, many terrible creatures that wander throughout those wastes. But in terms of what that was or any specifics, you're just not catching any.
You remember there was something about Hazran's Hollow. I mean, it wasn't when I was at school. I was standing outside the tavern listening to some bard singing a song about it, and I remember it was some kind of terrible event that went off, and he'd turned into some kind of funny song, and everything went boom. I just can't remember that, and there were all kinds of creatures and weird things, but I don't know what the real truth of it were. But maybe we can find out in the library. There might be some more accurate facts. Something bad happened, that's for sure. What do you know about it?
Well, in terms of the place itself, pretty much the same as you.
Well,
The point going to the library, I suppose.
Indeed. And why do you want to know all about it?
A personal interest, I suppose.
Don't need to roll insight, so I presume that's because you're looking very
It's just
uncomfortable.
very bad at hiding anything, so yeah, you're good.
Oh, it's okay. I understand. I don't mean to pry. It just seems that it's something that's on your heart, and sometimes when something's on your heart, sharing it with other folks is okay, and it can make things be a bit lighter to carry. Like, but don't worry about it. If you're ready, when you're ready, you could tell me about it if you want to. But if not, it's okay. It's okay. I'll help you find out what we can. I'm sure it'll be all right.
I give a little smile towards him.
Just turns to trudging through, wrapping himself up in the snow as much as he can.
Alrighty. Kicks snow. Like an impatient 12-year-old in the playground, you kick the rocks beneath your feet. And you continue on. Alrighty. So after, I would say, about... Let's see, what is that? About 5-6 hours of travel. We're getting around 1 p.m. now. You can see that the trees begin to thin a little bit. And here's something very concerning that you begin to notice is not only the trees are beginning to thin, but they're also starting to look less and less healthy, which is very, very odd. As trees like these huge, like timber evergreen trees, they are absolutely resolute. Like in any biome, anything, they'll survive through any temperature change. Like they're there to stay. But you can see right on the edge of it, they just look pale and sickly. But the closer and closer you get to Highland Pass, you start to just get this really putrid smell. And the trees, they start to look almost, upon investigation, like just as you're walking past them, you can typically put your hand on a tree and feel the toughness of the bark. But as you go to push it, it's almost squishy. Like there is this just sickness to these trees that they almost feel like infested, where you just sort of like lightly put pressure and you can hear this sort of like squelching noise, and then the tree just tumbles over, smacking onto the ground into the snow, and just splats open like over-ripened fruit. It is not good, and the smell is awful. And eventually, you start to hear the sounds of civilization. A very, very hectic and frantic civilization, that's for sure, as you can hear what sounds like people yelling, people shouting. Definitely not the sounds of a city that is thriving with trade, but the city where there are currently, there's some duress there right now. So as you are approaching, eventually you do see, coming out of where those dead trees are, you can start to see the walls of Highland Pass. These hugely tall walls, maybe 40, 50, 60 feet high, in this massive gatehouse, partially constructed from stone and wood. I'll go ahead and pull everybody here. Okay. So, you can see that. You can see the mountains flanking on either side, and as soon as all of you break from the tree lines, you can see that there are maybe about 15 or 16 crossbows on either side of the gate that currently point down towards you, and you can hear this gruff older man, can't see him, you can just hear his voice begin to shout out, "Who goes there? Who comes to Highland Pass?"
I was gonna nudge Quilp to speak up.
Oh, hello. He kind of steps forward, looks up, takes his hat off, and waves it. Do you remember me? I left about I can't remember. It's about a week since now. Quilp, you might have seen me around occasionally. Yeah, that's me. Hello.
And you can see, you can't hear him, you can just hear exactly, you can just kind of hear him begin to talk in a more normal tone to somebody next to him. You can see one of the crossbows comes off of the walls, goes into this sort of central roofed area above the gatehouse. And then you can see that they come back, a few more words are exchanged, and the crossbows stay pointed. The other one does not come back down, but he looks back down and begins to shout, "We do have record of a quilp leaving the city, but who are these 5 with you?"
Well, they seem very friendly. Like they're very nice. I met them and they've been helpful out in the wilds, and they just visited. Want to visit the library. No harm came of any folk that want to visit a library now, is it? I'm not very important. I'll kind of turn to Nalfian. I mean, they probably ain't even heard of me, so I don't know. You'll have to speak for yourself as well, I expect.
We need names and cities of origin.
There you go.
Right. Nalf will clear his throat. We do have that sigil, right? From Twig's uncle, right? We have that still?
Have that. Do we have that?
That wasn't from her uncle. That was from the
fucking the guy who hates me.
Captain Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Did he take it back?
No, we would have
or
had
did we
to
keep it?
Yeah, that was not for us to keep, so I imagine we gave it back. Yeah.
Well,
We have something from Bartold, right?
well, the
Something.
thing is, you never gave it back. You had that final meeting with him, and then
Yeah,
the
I
king
don't think I
came
ever gave
in,
him
and you never had an opportunity to finish your
shit.
conversation there.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, it's good for us, I guess.
I take it out.
Wait,
and
no,
I hand
is
it
that going to be
Nalfian then.
awkward? Because this is Talkia. I feel like that might be a bit.
Fine.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like Nalfin already cleared his throat.
This feels like a bad move.
Too late.
I give
Nalfin's
him
already
that.
cleared his
It's
throat.
fine, it's fine, it's fine.
I'm
Nalfin
clear
is
as that.
What? Okay. Nalfin just kind of steps forward, and if he has it still, he's gonna dig around and show it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah. We're friends of the king, you know? That king. And he'll just smile and hold it
You
up.
can see
He's not gonna
all
give
of
his
the
name.
crossbows kind of like peel up from the walls, and the gates like slowly begin to open.
Oh shit. Well, I wasn't expecting that to work.
That was very impressive. Wait, why did you ask me to say who I was when you got something like that?
Fuck, I don't know.
You're really important. It's very confusing all of this, but anyway.
And I was just gonna like pat Quilp on the head. He's still holding this thing up, and I guess he'll just slowly approach.
Okay. So as you slowly approach, you can see that the gate is divided into 2 halves. There is the front gate right here that opens in front of you, and then you can see that there is a second wooden and steel braced wall in front of it. So you're kind of in this middle area, almost like a ye old decontamination chamber. As the gate shut behind you, you can see that it's from a mechanism above in the gatehouse, which, like I said, is about 50 feet above you. And then you can hear some feet shuffling in front of you, and you can hear this very, very, very loud woman's voice in a very, very thick accent, which Quilp and Grok you would recognize as Tarkirian. Just shouting this, "The fucking king, is that what you're saying to me, the fucking king, huh? Oh, yes, I'm sure. And you thought, oh, yes, let's just open the gates, why don't we? Yes, let's open the gates to any two-bit asshole who was able to fake some symbol from the fucking king. Not only our own kingdom, but no, a kingdom that is not part of this one. Yes, fucking brilliant. Bertram, fucking brilliant." And you can hear the stuttering of the man who was originally talking to you. Captain, no, shut the fuck up.
Is he in front of us, or are we just
No,
here?
you're just hear this from behind the wall that you all are currently just sort of standing in. The gate shuts behind you. And then she says, "Open the gate!" And the gates open, and you can see all of those guards that were up on the wall are now down below you, crossbows back in their hands, not pointed at you, but just holding. And you can see, like I said, this very, very wide and large half-orc woman, standing about as tall as Grok and about as wide, wearing leather armor with different metal plates connected to it, this giant great axe in her hand. Long, like this almost like deep navy hair and this more purplish skin tone to her, different scars and cuts on her face, and two small teeth jutting out of her bottom lip. So you can see that this is Captain Helena Ovak. There we go.
My God.
So you can see that as the gate opens, you can see this woman, and like I said, she's the size of Grok. Huge. Built like a goddamn barn. And you can see that she's just sort of gripping, like white-knuckling that great axe in her hand. And she said, "Which one of you presented that token?"
That would be me.
You, step forward. The rest of you, stay there.
Now Fiddle will just kind of like give Twig a little look and just kind of that it's okay, and he'll just kind of break off from her, and he'll step forward. He's confident. He ain't worried. And just kind of like hold it in his hand for her to take if she wants to.
Yeah, she'll take it, and immediately as soon as she takes it, you can see her eyes kind of open a little bit, and then brows furrow again. All right. So, this isn't fake, which is good for you, but then I have to ask, she sets it back in your hand, who did you kill for it? Who did you steal it from?
Oh, well. You see, Captain Reinhardt and I go way back. I didn't kill him. He gave it to me. He gave it to all of us. We were doing some business for him. And now we're here, hoping to have a look in your library.
They really are. I'm wanting to go to the library, and I lived here for a while. I vouch for them, miss.
And you can see her eyes kind of roll at Quilp's like murmurings and like short echoes from all the way back in the back.
Just kind of looking around Now's legs.
Quilp, I know who you are. What is this? Truly. I want you to be honest. Is this some sort of ploy from Kjaldarson to get on Omen's good side? Is that what this is? How did you hear about it?
Nothing, just blinks a few times, because that's not his vibe. He doesn't know anything about that. Yeah, he will like kind of take a glance back at Yuri for a second, but keep going. Well, there's no game or ploy. I'm not really sure what the hell's going on around here, or why everyone's all kept up like this. We're just travelers. Oop, go ahead.
Grok would shout out, "Hear about what?"
Play dumb. Why don't you? The fact that a quarter of this fucking city is blocked off right now because of... I refuse to believe that this is not some ulterior motive. Sending secret agents, sending a group of mercenaries to my city?
You really think we're the most inconspicuous group? A fucking hobgoblin, a dark elf, a little girl, an elf, and this... him. And he kind of like points at Quilp. We're not exactly the conspicuous bunch, are we?
Captain, are you the captain?
Yes, I am the fucking captain. What does it look like to you? Are you stupid as well?
Oh, it is lovely to meet you, even though you don't seem too happy to see us. We are here.
Lovely to meet me. Cut the bullshit. Why are you here?
We would like to talk to you, maybe away from a lot of different people, because there are potential threats to the surrounding area and Highland Pass.
Potential threats to Highland Pass. Did you not hear? A quarter of our city is blocked off right now, full of undead. So you tell me, what the fuck is happening right now?
Relax. I'm sure we'll get to that point in a second. We do also have information on maybe this is related.
You could do me a favor right now and take that fucking smirk off your face. I don't know how many of my people in this city have died, and the fact that you're smiling through your teeth trying to make a deal is not helping your situation.
Nothing is just glaring now.
I'll help
Alright.
your situation. Fuck this. And Grok just turns around.
Eurydice, can you please inform what we're doing?
The gate's
Okay,
shut behind
we
you,
are-
Grok. You can't leave.
No. Well.
Tin?
You lean up against the gate then.
Tin, we are under the employment of House Bartold because of the issue with these undead. So if you want us to try and help you, we have information that could be useful.
You have information that could be useful. Well, then you can say it right fucking here, right fucking now, if it means it's going to prevent any more of my people in this city from dying.
There is a group of cultists that are trying to bring back. I don't know if you know what House Markle is. She seemed to react at all to that.
She's a brick wall. Just staring, listening.
House Markle is trying to return, and they are deeply involved in necromancy. Now, there are things near to this city that can help them do that. Artifacts that they're trying to cure. And part of that is then causing damage to your city, apparently, and we can try and help you.
There's also a fucking flower that's missing that can cause the nature, your trees, and everything else to go to hell. So that's probably what your fucking problem is. There's a flower that's causing a fucking sickness. There's a scroop, as my friend so nicely put it, causing the dead to rise again. That's what the fuck we're talking about. Is that plain enough for you?
You can see her kind of look towards the man that you know as Bertram. And then they whisper a few things back and forth.
Quilt's gonna tap Eurydice on the leg and go, "You're doing really well." He's gonna cast guidance.
You.
Just in case. And he's gonna kind of look up at Nalf. A little bit worried.
You're not doing really good.
Okay.
He's seriously considering casting Calm Emotions at this moment.
I'm sorry.
This is what's going to happen. Bertram here is going to go, and he is going to get Lady Lapierre. She will hear what you have to say, and then she will decide if you come into the city, or if we open the gate behind you and let you leave. But for now, I recommend that you stay here, and you don't move.
Nalfian just looks at her.
That seems fair.
Twig and Eurydice, I'll say. Given both of you, your rather studious nature, and then Twig, your readings into history and you know, that of hero stories and of the such, you would recognize the name Lapierre. As the Lapierre family has been sort of the leaders of this particular group known as the Knights of the Dawn. Now, the Knights of the Dawn are a group of Tarkirian knights who relinquish all titles and opportunities that they may receive as being nobles, and they instead take a portion of their money and their estates, whatever soldiers may fight for them, and they leave Tarkir, and they try and go elsewhere into the world to try and bring justice and freedom back. Yes, they would have actually met in Afera, they met the father of Lady LaPierre. So, all you got to do is call Cyrus up, and I'm sure everything will be fine.
Easy.
Easy peasy. So, then, as all of you are waiting here, I'm assuming that you are just sort of biding your time, trying not to be too aggressive to anything that may be happening.
I don't know, because I imagine Nalf has still got weird, fumey energy around him, so Twig's just gonna get his attention and say,
Please be nice to these people. I think that LaPierre's a good name, so I don't think it's a good idea to be hostile towards them.
Believe me,
He's not. Keep going now. Sorry.
oh no, he was just gonna say he's trying.
Quilp will kind of chirp in and say, "It's not usually like this. I think there must be something. I mean, this undead thing really got him going, and the thorns just scared me."
Yeah, well, this is me trying. But I will just let Eurydice do the talking from this point on.
That's a good decision. I thought you were doing okay.
Yeah,
You're both
well,
doing very well.
thanks, Quill.
I feel like it'd be good to at least not cuss at them. I don't think that's doing anyone any favors.
Right. Nalfi will, make a little gesture to, allow Eurydice to take the lead, because his way is not working.
Okay. So, with that, eventually, after maybe 15 minutes, you can see approaching with the, like I said, the older half-elven gentleman, Bertram. You can see a woman wearing a sash of red with a cloak of this deep navy blue, currently in this full plate armor, no helm, with what looks to be a long sword at her side. Deep raven hair with some small streaks of white in there, as you presume this to be Lady LaPierre.
Pretty.
So, as she approaches, you can see Bertram sort of explaining the situation, and she nods, and you can see that she's got these huge bags under her eyes as she approaches. And her hair is definitely thrown back into this sort of messy cluster on the back of her head as she's just sort of placing her palm on the pommel of her sword as she's approaching. And you can see that the captain sort of looks back, gives her a nod, and Lady LaPierre steps forward to be about within talking distance, not shouting, but talking distance from sort of Nalfi and Eurydice, and really the rest of you, not very far at all. She looks down to Quilp, nods. All right. So, as I understand it and I have been told, all of you have a sigil from King Kjaldarson. Is that correct?
Yes, we do. It's proved to be real.
Yes, it is. I believe you. It would be a stupid thing to lie about. As even within the confines of Tarkir, we prize honor and houses above all else. So to lie about that would be death. So it would be stupid to do that. And I believe that just from looking at all of you, you are not stupid. So then, my question is a simple one. You say your purpose here is to go to the library. I understand that our library may have some information, but in all honesty, in order to get this sigil, you must have been in Ravenrock. And the library in Ravenrock is much more expansive and is much more in-depth than ours. So then I have to ask, if the library is all you are here to see, then I suppose that you have some type of ulterior motive. So I'm hoping that if you can be honest with us, I can be honest with you, and we can come to some type of agreement.
Yes, that seems fair. If we are being honest, the library is one of the reasons, but the main reason is that we know that there is a lily here. There is a flower that is meant to cause great harm to nature, and as a result of that, people. We also know that there are problems involving House Markle and necromancy that are plaguing this area, and we want to try and help and stop it.
All right. So, then do you have any information at your disposal that would actually aid in that destruction, or are you just people searching to do good? Or do you have a mission, a reason, something you're actively looking for?
I have a mission. We were sent by House Bartold to deal with this problem because it's happening a lot of different places. We know that there is somebody here called the Watcher on the Wall who is running a sort of program that is trying to find items that can help House Markle to rise again. We also know that the lily was transported here based on members of House Markle.
House Markle, the Watcher on the Wall, Dilly. You can see her kind of look at you. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Do I still... do I have...
Guidance.
Yeah, you'll still have the
That's
guidance,
guidance.
Yeah.
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Okay.
Gonna add a d4 to that.
Oh.
Nice, yeah, add that d4.
R slash or slash R?
Slash R. Slash R space d4. Bop. 26. All right. That ain't nothing to scoff at. And you can see her kind of sigh. She says, well, as much as I wish you were lying and just trying to convince me of something that is not true, sadly I have a feeling that it is true. Especially consider everything that has been happening here over the past day and a half. And you can see her kind of rub her forehead and her temples, and then push back some of the strands of hair that have sort of fallen in front of her face, tucking them behind her ear.
What has been happening here in the last day and a half?
There is a quarter of our city that is known to have a passage into deeper regions of the mountain, which are typically where individuals like, and she gestures towards Quilp, and then also Nalfian, individuals like those two can come up and leave through. Now, we have worked on a program that allows for faster immigration and integration into Highland Pass and giving them citizenship as Darkirians. But there are also passages that lead through there that we try our best to keep an eye on, patrol frequently, but there are so many of them it is hard to keep track of all of them. Yesterday morning, there were guards who went missing on their patrols, and they were not able to give warning, as very shortly after that area began to pour with undead. They began to kill and eat whatever they saw fit, and due to the nature of all of it, there were several groups of guards who were lost in the process. Also, there are many people who are still left in there with no way out, as we've had to block the area off, so that way there are not people who escape, undead that escape, infecting the rest of the city. As these undead, as we have heard, they were not only created to kill and destroy, but also to spread that infection. So we have been trying our best to go in little by little and take people out, but the number of undead is increasing, and the wildlife and natural resources that exist within there are also beginning to diminish faster and faster and faster.
You say they're coming up from the deeps.
As far as we know, no. They are not coming up from below, as that would require the lifts and cavernous systems that exist beneath there to have some type of... that they would have knowledge of how to use them.
Indeed.
I'm more afraid
Someone's making them.
that this Watcher on the
Some-
Wall is the one responsible for this.
There's somewhere within the town that they seem to be originating from, or does no one manage to find out yet?
There is one building that we are absolutely positive that they have been coming from, but the number of undead there have been alarming. As even sending in the entirety of my town guard, some 300, there is a good chance that arriving all in one force that they could be overwhelmed by these undead, as they are quicker, faster. They can hide. And it's even been said that some of them have magical abilities. Runes carved into their body that allow them to achieve different things. Some cases flight, some cases they are monstrosities, spider legs. In other cases, when they are killed, they explode into bouts of flame. That is what we have found. That is the case.
This House Marco kind of thing?
My history on Iverion houses is not what I wish it was when I was younger. But from what memory I have of House Markle, I would believe it to be true if you say that you have a mission from this Lord Bartold. That is Sandpoint, correct?
And I've actually seen this before. This is definitely them. They've been doing this, carving runes, creating places in the underground. This is them. This is what's been happening in other places too.
It must be stopped.
Yes, it must be. As if it is not stopped here, it could spread to Isanalor. It could spread to all of Tarkir, Iverion. And then what is to stop it from going to Macavia or even the Salamander Coast?
Will there be some some individual that's creating this? That I mean, we cannot fight a horde of exploding, scary undead. As you say, you've got 300 guard and they can't do it. You have to do something.
Correct. So what would need to happen is we sent a request to Queen Omen in the hopes that she would be able to send some type of specialized task force to deal with this issue. But apparently there are other problems within Tarkir as well. All of the members of that group, they are currently in other places. And apparently what is happening in Tarkir is worse in other places, and we have fallen lowest on the priority list. We have plans
Round
in
the
mind,
group.
but they are a last resort that we wish not to use in any circumstance.
Nalf looks to Eurydice.
Did she say the last resort was? Second then.
She didn't say. She just said that she doesn't want to
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
I mean, we're
Well,
here, but she was being mean.
We have experience trying to deal with this, and I'd like to say that we all are fairly capable. We might be able to help, along with your own forces. We might be able to deal with this without getting other people involved.
If that is something that you truly think you can handle, I would be appreciative of the help greatly. And I would like to apologize for any tensions that might have been there or any cruel words exchanged when you first arrived. As you can understand, not just from my perspective, but also from looking towards Helena, from anyone who cares a great deal of this city. A distrust of strange travelers coming from a foreign kingdom. I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive us, especially now that we may be asking you to help us.
Considering the situation, it's not hard to forgive. Being wary. May we enter your city now?
You may, and I believe that Helena already has an idea on what is to be done. We have the same plan for the Silent Shields, but it may be best to do now. And you can see that Helena sort of nods, and you can see that very ferocious, sort of vicious attitude she had is all gone now. There is a stone-like quality to her face now, and she looks towards the six of you and says, "I would just like to extend an apology, same as Lady Lapierre. I meant no disrespect."
Nalf just nods.
I care a great deal for this city, and I wish to see it live through this. Our original plan was to send in myself and 50 of my best trained guard to pull away some of the undead activity to the opposite end of the abandoned part of the city. Then from there we would rig alchemical fire to cause mass damage, attract even more. while those silent shields went in from the opposite end of the city to find the building where we believe they've been originating from and to deal with them there. And then hopefully, if the creation of the undead stop, we would be able to destroy the rest of them. That was the plan, at least.
Seems like a decent plan. You and your men going to be okay?
I think the goal is for us to go with them, Eurydice.
She nods.
Okay.
You have no idea who's in the building. You no clue at all. There's no strangers arrived in the city. Anything like if we're walking into that, anything we might know might be useful.
All we know is that that building served as for those coming up from the surface or coming from below the surface.
Yeah.
Most of the tunnels intersected near that area. So we made it easier for them to come to us and to get them into the city, a sort of uniform place. There is one pathway in there that does not descend down, but it descends further into the mountain, further east. So all I can truly tell you is to not head down further beneath the surface than what you need to. Upon finding that building, there will be a cave system. Follow it eastward. And if you follow it east, it should lead you to where you need to go. Wherever they're coming from.
Something.
And if we do this, we can still use your library, right?
In fact, I will let you use my own personal library. I have some books in there, especially if it's pertaining to more valuable information related to houses. You will most likely be able to find it there over the Academy's library.
Or very unsubtly elbow Twig, look at her and go a grin and a nod.
Well, when exactly were you planning to execute this plan?
The plan was as soon as the silent shields arrived.
And any word on them? But they're not coming. Great. Okay, I get it. I get it. Nalf just kind of like sighs and looks at everybody else. What's the look on Grok's face right now?
That is it. Blank.
It's nothing.
Nothing.
Grok's left the chat.
Maybe?
Me.
Oh no, Jamie.
Right, literally left the
No.
chat.
No. I'm looking at Discord to see if this thing lights up.
Yeah, that's what happened yesterday.
I'm not seeing anything.
I don't even see it here. Let me move him real quick and then pop him back. Jamie?
To quit.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hello.
Hey, there we
Hey.
go. Nice.
I was just asking, how does Grok look right now after hearing all of that?
I mean, he's still just pretty seething in general, to be honest with you. Grok is currently just a bundle of rage.
It is okay. God, Nalfian has a headache.
Well, I'm very willing to help and do all I can for the good of the town. I hope that you folks will help me. I understand if you don't think this is your fight.
Well, that's the thing. Well, it is. There's a lot of information we need that's probably down there. All right,
Okay.
well, obviously we don't have that much of a choice here. We all good for this.
I feel like it'd be better to act sooner than later if they get word that, well, strangers have arrived. It might make things more complicated.
Yeah, the longer we leave it, the more get created, the more it spreads, the more problems there are.
She gave us like the general direction to start heading, right? We know where we're going from
Oh
what
yeah,
she
there
said
there would
then.
be there would be guards that lead you there. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna time it so we go in while the distraction's happening.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, there's no time like the present.
Yep. Guess we're doing this. And Alpha just kind of nod at her.
Okay. All
It hasn't
right.
been made in the house. I think it's under the house. The house is where they're coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, I don't think it's as easy as burning a house down.
Well,
That's not the
Could
root
be.
of the problem.
Could be.
I think that might be nuke the town might be the response if we don't sort it out though.
That is not far from the truth.
Mm.
Alrighty. Okay.
Didn't
So-
Last of Us.
Oh my god.
You gave me a zombie arc. What did you think was gonna happen?
Okay, so with that, you are sort of led into the city. You can hear the second gate shut behind you as Bertram, he leads you to the most northern quarter of the sort of blocked off area. And just I'll go ahead and give you a better idea of what you're looking at shape-wise. Pull all to scene. Hopefully that isn't broken. Nice. Okay. So you can see, like, built right along the mountainside, and you can see that in the very, very back of the city, this is only one half of Highland Pass. The other half is actually through this very, very long tunnel through the mountain that leads to the other half of the city that is on the other side of the mountain range, on more so in Tarkir than here. So in the city, you are led over to that quarter, and as you're led there, you can see that there are these very hastily constructed sort of wooden palisade walls hoisted up with a very, very rickety gate that is currently blocked off by what looks to be like stone rubble that's just sort of thrown up there to prevent anything from busting it down. And there are two guards that are placed on top of this small gatehouse that every once in a while are just firing a volley of crossbows down beneath the walls. And Bertram shouts up and sort of looks to all of you and says, you need to let them in. They are, they're gonna try and stop this. Very, very nervous, and looking back to all of you and looking up to the guards, and they kind of climb down off their ladder. They begin to pull away the stone, and they pull open the gate, and you can see buildings in front of you, partially maybe torn down or collapsed. You can see dead bodies, maybe 20 corpses of these very odd-looking undead. These are ones that you have not encountered yet. They're not skeletons. They're not zombies. They are this very humanoid-looking undead hybrid, where their hair has begun to fall out. Their skin is clinging to their bone, very gaunt. Their fingernails and teeth are extra sharp. as if they were filed or something like that. And they are just, some of them are covered in those runes, and the other ones are they have no runes on them at all. And as you move in, the gate shut behind you, and the stone is thrown back up. So with that, you are inside the contaminated quarter of Highland Pass. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick break right there, and when we come back, we'll see how they deal with the zombies. But not zombies, something else. All right, cool. So thank you so much for watching so far, and we'll be on a break, and we'll be right back. Okay, bye. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay. All righty. There we go. We are back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. What a blast from the past. Here we are. So let's go ahead and dive back into our session. So picking up where we left off, our group of adventurers, they had found themselves inside the city of Highland Pass finally. After many, many sessions of travel in Issa Nalor and then some more travel in the mountainous border regions of Tarkir, they have now found themselves in the mountain city of Highland Pass. They've discovered from the captain of the guard and the lord, the lady of the city, that there is apparently a quarter of the city that is currently infected. It is overwhelmed with undead that are wandering the streets and killing anything and everything they can get their hand on. And on top of that, some of them are enchanted with runic sigils from the cult of House Markle, what they've been known to do to undead. So, while the people of Highland Pass, specifically Lady Lapierre, what she was waiting for was a group of sort of a special task force that is used throughout Tarkir. They were hoping that they would arrive, but sadly, apparently there's a lot happening in Tarkir right now. A lot of bad things, and that group of individuals are currently busy. They have no way to be in more than one place at once. So, instead, the 5 of you plus Den are sent in to these infected, sort of horror-ridden area in an effort to help the people here. So, you're led in, the gates are open for you, and then as soon as you enter, the gates are shut right behind you again. You can see bodies, corpses, undead, but the worst thing is that of people who may have been living and died, you do not see any of their corpses. Any of the corpses you see are those of the more ghoulish undead that are currently killed and riddled with crossbow bolts. So you have a pretty good idea that anyone who's died here, you're not going to find their corpse in a traditional sense. You're either going to find them alive with undeath, or a mutilated version of whatever their body once looked like. So, I will say that as you are walking throughout the streets here in the city of Highland Pass, in this abandoned area, it is rather silent for the first small duration of time. Eerily quiet, I should say. Where every once in a while you can hear a woman scream, or a man exclaim for help, and then nothing. You can hear glass shattering, and then what sounds like a family yelling different pitches and tones for help, and then nothing. And then eventually, after maybe 15 minutes of walking, you can hear a very loud explosion somewhere very far away from you. It is just the echo. And you can start to hear these almost like howls and groans and yells begin to move away from you. Seems as though the diversion has been enacted, and all of you are now free to move. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring all of you here. Okay. So, with that, as all of you are making your way through, you can see on your left and right, flanked by different buildings, snow on the ground beneath you, this sort of cobbled path in front of you, as the 6 of you are making your way. Which, by the way, what's the marching order?
I mean, Dalfin would definitely be towards the front.
Okay, so we got Alfian in the front.
And I thought Twig was behind him, but as soon as Shadow Elf came about, she's there anymore, so I don't know who's behind him.
Yeah, Twig's order is just furthest away from Shadow Elf.
Have like Twig in the middle,
Cool, Twig in the
and
middle.
then Grok at the back, and the sea and now.
Okay.
Work.
All right, we got a little pattern right there. Okay. Alrighty. So Eurydice and Nalfian, as the 2 of you are beginning to curl around a corner, you can see that while a lot of those undead have been sort of cleared out, there are some that have stuck around. And you can see, as of right now, there is just one in the path in front of you. You can see that there's currently a corpse underneath it. It looks to be another ghoulish corpse, and you can see that it is currently breaking off limbs and snapping them and beginning to eat them. So let me go ahead and move all of you here. Okay. So, like I said, you can just see that one. It is maybe 25, 30 feet in front of you as you're just beginning to curl around the building. It hasn't noticed you yet. So it's up to you if you'd
That's
like
the
to.
way we need to go, isn't it?
That is the clearest path, yeah.
How do we kill it quietly?
There.
We don't. Does it see us right now?
Nope.
Joe?
Nope.
Or
Its
no?
back is currently turned to you. I will say that on its back, the 2 of you would be able to see that there is this symbol etched into the back that is asking Twig. You would recognize it as the sign from Mithril, carved into its back. Which, from the book of symbols that you were able to find that belong to the snake in the grass, that type of alchemical enchantment was used for poise and resistance.
It sucks.
We all want to just like fire at the same time. Long distance, and then just try to take it out that way.
From every zombie movie I've ever seen. If we're loud, more's coming running. You know. So yes, it'd probably be good to like funnel fire in a quiet manner. But Grok has a big ass, loud ass cannon. But I don't have a better plan.
You want to try and sneak up. Because if it goes back turned to us, you can try and like slit its throat or something.
This would be the time where it fucks up, but sure, why not? We'll try.
I want to come with you. I'll fuck it up. I always do.
Yeah, you should stay here. Let me mess it up on my own.
Okay.
Alright, sure.
Alright, so
God.
Nalfian, if
I
that's...
will say, just as Nalfian's like getting up, Twig's gonna be just like ready to fire at it, just in case something goes south.
Okay, alright.
Thank you.
So Nalfian, as you begin to make your way up, I'd like you to make a stealth check. First things first. With advantage, I'll say, because...
Me?
Yeah. Currently creature has...
As it's up, though, can I pat Nalfian and go, "You'll be fine," and I'll cast guidance, and then I'm also gonna do a little resistance on Nalfian as well, just in case.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm so kind.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, wait.
Resistance.
How does Nalfian always end up crooked?
Just laying down.
Let's
Have a little wrap.
see.
I know I can't actually guidance. They're both concentration, so I just have guidance on it.
Okay. All right.
I didn't
Wait,
realize
no,
guidance
I can
was.
step up in guidance. Like,
There we go. Alrighty. Okay. So go ahead and add that extra D4, just for funsies.
Oh, yeah, I got 23.
Hey, but 26 is better. Okay. So with that, you and Shadow Nalf, right?
He has to, but Shadow Elf doesn't make noise.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah, he would have to.
So with that,
He would disappear.
the two of you approach this creature right here, and you. What are you doing?
The goal is just to, like, with the dragon bone dagger, either side, just, like, skewer its neck.
Okay.
One from Shadow Elf, one from Nelf.
Okay, so what I'm gonna have you do is I'm just gonna have you. We can flavor it that way, but just go ahead and make your.
Oh, yeah, sure.
3 like regular attacks that you have. Your action, like 2 attack action, and then bonus action attack. And then if the damage adds up to be their hit point total or higher, all the attacks are with advantage, by the way.
Oh, bless up.
Because you're getting that.
I'm gonna do it this way.
Yeah, you're getting the drop on it. Okay.
Stack.
Points of damage.
Ooh, yikes. Okay, we'll get the advantage.
You
Second
get the
attack.
advantage.
Thing.
That hits. 11 points. And then the Dragon Tooth
His
Dagger
offhand.
on the bonus action.
Oh, sorry. I should just be. It's rather clicky.
Okay. And then, yeah, with advantage to see if it's a natural 20. Okay. Alrighty. Half damage. Okay. So, that.
Can I aim? Is it too late to ask to aim for the thingy?
Aim for the what?
It's too late. I'm sorry. The rune symbol thing that's carved into it. I don't know if that makes a difference. Did we learn that from the last time we fought these things? I can't remember. Like if we were to remove that from its body, would it do anything or nah?
No, because after the rune is applied, it's just sort of like after it's carved, it's just then an internal thing.
Okay, no worries.
But then that'll be full damage on that one, and then 2 points of lightning damage on that. And then is this adding the? Okay. So that was the only other thing that is not there. Is high trouble. Okay. So with that, that is I shit you not just enough damage to, as you walk up beside it, you and Shadow Elf both wielding your daggers, both slam it into its throat, and no noise.
Palm sweaty.
Drops down dead.
All right. Now's gonna give a little wink to Shadow now. Like, good job, bro.
He'll just kind of shrug, be like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah, that's fair. Then Nalf will just kind of like gesture back towards everyone else to move up. And if he could just, oopsies. If he could just peek up here just a little bit, take a couple steps forward, just kind of get like a gaze around for anybody else.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
All right.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So, Nalfian, as you stand up and you just begin to slowly walk after slamming the dagger into the throat of that one ghoul, you slowly begin to step forward and just begin to gaze out looking for anything, hoping you can at least see a little something. And as you look out in front of you, you end up stepping forward just a little bit. You peek around this one brick wall here. You can see just sort of like a puddle of blood there. And you look out further over in this direction as well. But you just don't see anything ground level. But then as you start to look over and then sort of scan the roofs, that's when you can feel your stomach drop. As you can see just these small, beady, gleaming, translucent blue eyes just sort of staring down at you. Not just from right there, but also closer to you, looking behind you. And then you see that they're not just in front of you, but they're also behind you. And you can see that as you're just looking around, you don't react at all. You just feel your stomach drop.
Yeah.
But then you make eye contact with one, and it is not moving yet. You can just see all of them sort of poised on those rooftops, just staring down at all of you, like lions waiting for their prey just to begin to move.
Nalfin's gonna make like a noise with his mouth, like a not a whistle, but just a sound that your mouth makes when
Like
you
you're clicking
pass
your
near
tongue
there.
or something. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. I'm garbage. Yeah, he'll make that sound to make sure everyone and like eyes up, just to kind of like make sure everybody's fucking ready. Cause
Oh no.
Okay, so as all of you look up and see that, what do? Draw your weapons? Do you run? What's the plan?
How far are we from where we're heading for? We any idea? Presumably we've been told, and maybe I know.
Yeah. Probably about maybe a 15, 20-minute walk. So 10-minute run.
Oh, right. Okay.
okay, so running doesn't seem to be that big of an option. But my thing is, if we run, there's probably gonna be more everywhere else.
Yeah.
But we can't fight these quietly either.
That's true.
Many.
I could make them run away, but
Does it? Sorry if I know we're taking a long time to make a choice in this moment.
Yeah.
So we're like 10 minutes away from where we need to go. This way.
Sprinting,
Forward.
yes.
Sprinting. Does it look like there's more that way? I don't like that this is titled One Street. Because I don't want there to be 10 streets later. I'm not to metagame, I'm just noting. Does it look like there's more this way with that perception roll from earlier? Am I asking too much? You don't have to answer that.
No. It's okay. So, perception only lets you see so far, because even with like the dark vision,
Yeah,
even if the sun
for
is
sure.
starting to set a little bit more, it's not the sight that gives you any clue. It is the noise.
Mm-hmm.
So as you were originally walking for about 5 minutes or so initially into the city, being very quiet, just going along your way, you could hear that sort of clattering and screaming. The noise is very far away from you, but in this moment there's silence. So you have a pretty good idea that distraction probably worked pretty all right, as it seems like, at least as
Gotcha.
far as you can gather, right here, right now,
The majority of them aren't in the same area.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, I'm picking up what you put
so
down.
if there is a little bit of noise here, it might not be too bad,
Might be
because
the end of
most
the
of them
world,
seem
okay.
to be already drawn away. So,
Okay.
but that could also mean that there's not any in front of you, so you could attempt to run. But
I think Quilp's gonna cast Bless. on. We got Grok, Nalf, and who else is next to him? Let's do Yuri. Grok, Yuri, and Nalf.
Okay. Yuri and Grok.
Oh wait, I'm no longer blessed.
Oh, you.
Oh, neither is Grok. Hey.
There you go.
Thank you, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I don't know, now looking at everyone and just like thinking about everyone's run speed. I think we might be fighting these things. I would just hate to get separated in the run is what he's worried about. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Do they look like they're in good physical shape to be running?
Yes. Yeah, they are very athletic in form. Yeah.
My problem is that, like, if we're going and literally dealing with where these are coming from, how much are we going to blow up the fight?
I think it's
Yeah.
best to just deal with these ones now and,
Yeah.
because either
Well, that's-
way, if we're walking into something, we don't want to be, like, distracted by what's going on behind us. We want to get rid of that threat, focus on, like, making sure we don't walk ourselves into another trap.
Alright, well, if that's the case, now I'm just gonna flick this one off. And,
Alrighty, so that you fling him on, all the rest of you kind of draw your weapons, taking a cue from Nalf, and you prepare to dig in. So with
nom, nom, nom,
that,
nom.
I would like all of you to roll for initiative. All right.
Ask, because do
there's
any of the
fairies
others
in that.
around have runes in them?
It's hard to tell them being on the rooftops very flat right now, but
Okay.
as soon as they begin to descend down, you'll be able to get a better idea of that.
Okay.
Sorry, Joe.
Quill!
Oh, okay,
Ooh.
I see you.
That's the most useless thing to roll 20 for. There we go.
I think because I have two of me, I rolled initiative twice, and I have two spots on the initiative
Okay, yeah,
counter.
the Shadow Nalf one is the one that was lower, so we'll remove that combatant. And then,
Oh, so
Grok,
kind.
it didn't add your initiative. That's weird. Oh, it's because you didn't roll yet.
Brock's just not gonna fight with us anymore. Cries.
Here,
No,
I don't know
it's
the
doing
other
the same
one.
as last night.
are you clicking the like flag button?
I'm doing both.
Are you doing both?
I'll try both. Yeah.
What if you go to like the combat tracker and click the dice that's right next to your name, like on the combat tracker?
Yeah, I've tried that as well.
What? Because if I click it,
I've done. Yeah, it didn't do it last night either.
yeah, that's so weird. Is your like initiative bugged out? Initiative? Oh yeah, because that's not working. That's super fucking weird. And then that's not working either. That's odd. Yeah, I wish I knew why it was doing that. That's super weird. Okay, all right. Well, let me go ahead and roll initiative for these ghouls here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, boom. Clickety clack. Look at them. Look at all those dice falling in. Whoa! Oh, a natural 20 from a ghoul.
Gosh.
Nice. Oh, and that means that one is going first. Okay, so with that, we're gonna go ahead and start on the initiative here. So let's see. We've got this ghoul that is going first here. So oops, wrong button. Accidentally opened Steam. Didn't mean to do that. Get out of here. Okay. So, oh, Jesus Christ, Steam. Calm down. Okay. So, with that, this ghoul is going to jump down and is just going to lunge towards Eurydice. And Eurydice, you can see that this individual in particular has what looks to be some type of rune on them that you remember as the luck rune. Or as the snake in the grass had on their journal that is for wild magic. So,
Okay.
as it runs up to you, it is going to go ahead and make one claw attack and one bite attack. One, normal, and bite, normal. Okay, so the claw is going to be a 22 to hit.
Oh yeah, fucking hurts.
It's going to be 5 points of slashing damage.
Yeah.
That bite is an 11, which is a miss, I'm pretty sure.
Tetanus.
And then I need you, for the claw attack, I need you to make a, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Alright.
Oh, good thing you had a 10. That was the DC. So you can feel that as soon as the claw scratches into you, that you can feel your muscles in your arm begin to tense, almost as if you were about to be paralyzed, but then you sort of regain that feeling and motion in your hand. So, it was close. Could have been paralyzed there, but luckily you were able to come out on top there. Okay? All right. So then, Quilp, comes to your turn.
Okay. All I'm going to do at this point is Quilp is going to duck in between Grok and Din and behind Twig and just look around, and it's going to hold. Yeah, it's not going to do anything this turn. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going to wait till next turn to see what the situation is. Yeah, it's not going to do anything.
Okay.
Just going to look around and go.
Okay. Alrighty. So then we come to another ghoul here. This one is going to... Ooh. No, I'm not really having a good idea. The closer person being Shadowmouth is going to jump down towards Shadowmouth. And then I believe because you are Sentinel, right, Nalfian, does that also trigger for Shadowmouth? Or no, sorry, that's
but I don't
Polearm
think I'm
Master.
close enough. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I'm close enough for that to work there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Because if I was right here, it would work. But I'm a little too far.
Yeah. All right. So then with that, the ghoul is going to go ahead and take a bite and a claw attack at him. And you can see this one has no symbol on his chest. So that is a 20 on the bite and then a 13 on the claws.
Damn. Yep. He's gone.
All right. Shadowmouth is vanished. I'm just going to put him over there. Okay. Alrighty, so that's the end of its turn. As you can see, it's very disappointed as it goes tear into Shadowmouth, expecting to get a bite of something, but sadly is met with just wispy shadows instead. All right, Nalfian, it's your turn.
I'm going right after that one.
All right, sounds good. Da-da. Da-da. 17. Okay, that is a hit. 10 points of piercing damage. And then 26 to hit for 11 points of piercing damage. Okay, so 2 slashes into it. You're able to cut bits and pieces of the flesh off. And yeah, it's looking pretty rough right now.
Annoying. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna bonus action offhand.
All right, sounds good. All you got to do is hit it. Yeah, okay. You smack it in the head with the butt of the blade, and it is dead. Not a lot of hit points on these guys. They can just be a bit of a nuisance. Okay. Alrighty. So with that, that one will drop down. Dead. Alright.
I hold my position.
Okay. Alright. Sounds good.
Actually,
Nope.
Yeah, I will. I don't
Okay.
want to. I don't want to clump. So yeah, that's it. My bad.
Okay. Alright. Twig, it's your turn.
Okay, well, she is first off gonna Hunter's Mark the one that's right in front of Yuri. And then just
Okay.
chow.
Marked. Okay, 18 and a 9.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so real quick, before, okay, never mind, sorry. So with that, extra 4 points of damage. You can see that as soon as the second bolt sinks in, you can see the rune on its chest begin to glow. That sort of wild magic surge begins to happen. And Twig, I'd like you to roll a D100 for me.
And wait, so it had luck on it, right?
Yeah.
That was the
Yep.
rune. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
43. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So you can see that as you strike it with both crossbow bolts, you can see that its skin starts to turn from that sort of sickly bluish teal gray to this more ethereal purple with that strike. Not exactly sure what that means, but hey, that's what it is.
And it's still upright.
Still standing, yep.
I realize it needs the hunter's mark as well. Is that D6? Oop. That's from hunter's mark damage. And then still up.
With another 4 points of damage, yep, it is.
Okay, then she's going to use her last little extra attack.
Okay, 7 for 7 points of damage. Now it is dead, and I need you to roll another D100 for me. For a second effect there. 8.
No, below the upper one.
So
Never a good sign.
What have I done?
Oh, what's a 60-foot radius around this ghoul? Oh,
Oh,
amazing. Amazing.
no.
That is
I'm sorry.
beautiful.
What have I done?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so Twig, you can see that as the second bolt slams into the back of its head, that rune begins to glow on its chest, and its body explodes, splattering you and Eurydice with that sort of just nasty, vile blood. But then as soon as you sort of clear away the blood from your vision, you can see that, right? Because it was an 8, right? Yep, okay. Yeah. So, Eurydice, Twig, Din, Grok, Nalfian. The only person this doesn't affect is Quilp, because Quilp doesn't carry any weapons. All of your weapons are turned to food.
the
What?
fuck?
I'm sorry, how does this work?
Yeah, your weapons are food now. They don't do any damage.
What in the wild magic? I hate this.
Yep. So, Twig, you're now holding a ham and cheese grilled sandwich. Eurydice, your spear is a baguette. Grok, your your anchor is just a watermelon. And Nalvian, your rapier is a string cheese, and your dagger is a
Even whisper?
banana. Yep.
Oh, he's mad. That's not okay. The pommel's not there anymore?
Pommel's not there anymore, no.
Okay.
Okay.
And they will stay that way for 1 minute. So,
Shit. I'm so sorry. Just chuck me out. I'll leave.
well, this combat just got a new layer to it. Jesus. All right. Then we come to the ghouls here, and they don't have any weapons. They just have their claws and their bite attack. So yeah, this one's going to run up to Nalfian and is going to go ahead and make bite and claw. Bite, claw. This one has no symbol on it. That is a 6 and a 7. Those both misses. So you can see that it tries to slash into you and bite out of you, but luckily it is just not able to make purchase. So then we come to this one here. Now, this one, as it jumps down, is going to run right up next to you, Grok, and you can see that this one on its chest has the dwarvish rune for fire on it. and you can see that it currently doesn't have any flames like coming off of its attack or out of its mouth, but you can see that that symbol is sort of glowing a deep red under the skin. But then it's going to make a bite and a claw attack against you, Grok. So that bite is going to be a 19, but the claw is going to be a 12.
Just the bite hits then.
Okay, so that's going to be... Oh, excuse me. 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Alrighty, so then we come to Eurydice.
These suck. I don't like them. Okay. What should I go for? There's so many. Okay, one up on the roof next to Nalfion on the right. I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast it.
Okay.
I'll take one Eldritch Blast and just see what happens from that, because they don't have a lot of HP, but I don't know how much they have.
Mm-hmm. See what it do. 19 to hit. That is a hit for 5 points of force damage. Did that add the... Yeah, okay, it added the charisma modifier. All right, cool. Okay, so it takes the 4 points of damage, or the 5 points of damage, slams into the chest of it, and as it sort of reels back, you can see that on this one as well, there is that same symbol as the one that Twig just killed for that wild magic symbol. But nothing triggers with that.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot it again.
Okay,
Needs to
all right.
die at some point.
Second beam fires away. Okay, 27 to hit for 10 points of force damage. That is quite a bit more. It's still barely standing, and Eurydice, I'd like you to roll a D100 for me. Burner. 62.
Ew.
Interesting.
Is it interesting, Joe?
Is that 62? Yeah, that's 62.
He's not laughing his head off, so.
I mean, it's just silly. Okay. So with that, you can see that within 20 feet of him, within 20 feet of him, so all around the tree, within the house, right around Nalfion, there is grass that just sprouts from the ground about 3 feet tall, creating some semblance of quarter cover for anybody inside that grass. Okay, that's that. Not all of them are super exciting, God bless, because if all of them were turn your weapons to food, that wouldn't be good.
Ooh. Actually, I telekinesis and just drag it off the roof.
Is using your telekinesis like a... Does it...
Bonus action.
It's a bonus action? What's the weight limit on telekinesis?
There isn't one. But it does have to make a saving throw.
Okay, alright. So you could just, like, lift up a building?
Imagine that's probably what I could do.
Okay.
It just doesn't have a specified limit.
Yeah, okay. So go ahead and what type of saving throw is it? Strength?
Strength saving throw, yeah.
Okay.
Just my DC.
So that's a 13?
I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah,
that fails.
If it's your DC, then yeah, DC's 15. Okay, so yeah, he'll fall over. It's about 15, 20 feet up off the ground. So go ahead and make a roll 2d6 for me.
Okay. Need to get used to doing that thing.
Okay, 11 points of damage. All right, so he will fall, snapping his neck on the ground. However, I would like you to roll another D100 for me.
Oh, okay.
50, 95. Oh, okay.
It's not a good reaction.
Now. Okay, so let's see. Everybody within 30 feet of it. Go ahead and get another thing out here. So 30 feet of it now. You ready to see? You are right on the edge of this. So the one ghoul in front of you, Nalfian, and you, Nalfian, are for the next minute, right? Next minute, 95. Are vulnerable to piercing damage for the next minute. So that means that piercing damage will pretty much do double damage.
He doesn't have a sword.
Get it going. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's... Okay, all right. So then we come to this one right here. That is right next to... Guess, please don't eat any of your weapons. Please, because after a minute, they turn back into their weapons.
But, like, then is it just like is it just going to be a bite mark out of our weapons then?
Yeah, and then you'll have metal in your stomach. Please don't do that. Okay. All right. So then this one's going to jump down, and this one's going to attack Din. So that's one bite and one claw. Bite, claw. Okay, so that was a 15 and a 14. Din is at 13, so both those are going to hit. So that's going to be a 10 points of slashing damage. And what? What's that? Okay. Minus 10. And then 9 points for the bite. And then Den needs to make a con saving throw. Public sheet. Not intelligence. Constitution. Okay, so he's fine. All right, so that is that one's turn, and then we move to. Wait a minute, what? What is it? Okay. All right, so then we come to this one all the way over here. This one is gonna. Oh, that's why it was doing that. Okay. So this one is gonna go ahead and. Yeah, it can't get very far. So it's going to get right there, and it's just going to move into the grass. Runs over there. There we go. Alrighty. So then next up we have Brock.
Well, realizing his anger is now a watermelon. He's just going to fucking slug this thing in the mouth.
Alright, go ahead and make an unarmed attack. Oh, that's right, because you didn't put the gauntlet back on. That's right.
Nope.
So just go ahead and make
unarmed?
Just click strength, because it's the same thing since you're not proficient in unarmed strikes. Just be a strength roll. Yeah, that'll hit, and then your strength modifier is +5, so that'll be 6 points of damage to him. Crack, slug him in the face. Boy, it hurts. You can see its jaw just kind of disconnect for a second as it's just sort of staring at you, frothing at the mouth.
And then with the other hand, he's just going to hog it again.
All right, roll an unarmed strike. That's a hit for another 6 points of piercing damage. All right, sounds good. Crack, crack. 2 punches right in the face, sort of dislocating the jaw entirely.
Nah, on that last one, he's smiting it. He's going to uppercut it.
Oh, hell yeah. Pour in that smite, and it's also undead, so you get that extra D8.
Yeah, this thing's going to fucking die.
That's so funny. Just the idea of using unarmed strike. Yeah, melee weapon attack. Yeah. That you're now dealing radiant damage with your fucking fist. Oh, that's too good. All right, so that'll be an extra 3d8.
Wow. Fuck me, I guess.
Luckily, though, with 7 points of damage, 2 technically being radiant as opposed to just 1, that will be enough to knock it dead. Just, like I said, just barely. We're you guys are really cutting it close with these damage totals. Okay, all right, so that one is going to drop dead right there as you just sort of smite it with an uppercut, just blowing the head from its shoulders, flying back, completely disconnecting the head and turning it into just some mushy brain matter behind it. Brutality. Okay. All right. So then we come to the... Oh, what the hell? Oh, that one's dead. Okay. All right. So yeah, then we actually come to Quilp because the other 2 are dead.
Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. They're going down. Is this effect dispellable of turning their weapons into food? Or
It is a
not
magical
something I
effect.
know?
No. You assume since it's magical that you could dispel it. Yeah.
Okay, well, then let's try and dispel it if it's low enough level.
Shit.
So what's his? So yeah, I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic and try and get rid of the effect of food weapons.
Okay, and then is dispel magic just in like a radius?
Well, it's on an effect. It doesn't say necessarily.
Okay, let me...
So it's on one creature, object, or magical effect within range, and the range is 120 feet.
Yeah. Okay. Creature magical object or magical effect within range. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say, because that was well, nobody rolled initiative for Din, so he just wasn't on the turn order.
Oh yeah.
I'll say, because that was a magical effect that happened, it wasn't like somebody pointed at just one weapon and turned it to food. I'll say that because it was a magical effect across the whole board, that then it is turned into... The same effect happens when you cast Dispel Magic. So, okay. I'll say, if you cast that would dispel it, yeah.
Okay, so you will go, no, they're not supposed to be baguettes, and concentrate and make them back into weapons again.
Okay. So
and go, that's better.
All of you can feel this sharp gust of wind just sort of expunge itself from around Twig, and you can feel that as that breeze is running by you, you can feel the strength of your weapons return and reform into their regular shapes of a crossbow, a spear, a sword, an anchor, and a rapier and dagger. And you can see, Nalfian, that your blade is back to where it was. Nothing has been altered about it.
Yeah, because like the moment it was turned to food, there was just a flash of pure heartbreak on his face. But now it's fine.
Dead so sad. Okay. All right. Okay, so then actually, Nalfian, it is your turn, and you got a guy in front of you who's vulnerable to piercing damage, and you got a sword that does piercing damage.
Yeah, like I said, there was like that moment of pure like heartbreak, like he lost everything in his entire existence. But as soon as it's back, fucking weight relief, and he just is gonna just go crazy on this guy.
Do it
for everybody.
Do it to it there, bud.
Well, maybe.
18.
Oh, well,
yeah,
hey.
18. That's gonna hit for 12
Bless
points of
that
piercing
bless.
damage. So that's gonna be double damage, and with that, that is enough to kill it.
Oop. Did I do that? Sorry.
Yeah, you were just rolling damage there. So the one in front of you is dead now.
Lovely.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I forgot to say earlier, Grok, that one that was in front of you, it had that rune embedded in that fire rune embedded into its chest, and the more damage that was done to it, the more that rune began to glow brighter and brighter and brighter. and then after killing it with that uppercut, its body fell onto the ground, and then that rune got so bright, eventually it just detonated. So I'm sorry, that was something I forgot to say. So then I need pretty much everybody in this sort of bottom half right here to make a dexterity saving throw, which includes this ghoul guy right here. Dex saving throw.
Don't forget your blesses, guys.
Oh yeah. I think for the people who are blessed, hopefully it just auto rolls. Oh good, it did its job. God bless.
We rolled for Din.
Yeah, somebody roll for Din. So the ghoul and Eurydice, you got yours. Oh, Quilp. Okay.
No.
So Grok, Din, and Quilp all fail, taking 5, 10, woo, woo, woo,
Man.
16 points of fire damage. And then
Ooh.
Eurydice and Twig and the ghoul take 8.
It's fire damage, yeah.
It is fire, so you are resistant. Yes, so
Cool.
you take then 4 points of fire damage. I agree, Din. No.
Oh.
Did somebody subtract that from Din's total yet?
Looks like it.
Okay.
No, I think he was already hurt.
But yeah, he was already
before.
damaged
He's
because
already
that ghoul
hurt.
hit him.
These
So
are
here.
point people to be taking care of Din.
Okay, here. I'll subtract the 15. There you go. All right, your boy's at 10. Okay, so sorry about that. Nalfian,
That's okay.
let's hop back to you.
No worries. I just moved up to
Okay.
this one to give my last regular attack, and then his offhand. Wow! Wow!
Okay. So a 13 does hit.
Oh.
So 7 points of piercing damage, and then 8 piercing and 3 lightning. Bop. Not enough to kill it, but that does do a pretty good bit of damage to it. And as you are approaching, let's see. That one. That one had no rune on it. Okay, I was just making sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so these last two that are here have no rune on either one of them. Okay. All right, so then with that, Twig, it's your turn.
Okay. Just gonna move Hunter's Mark onto that one that's nearby Din.
Okay.
And follow that up with 2 attacks.
Okay, 21 for 8 points of piercing damage. And then 7 points of piercing damage. Okay, all right. So with that, both bolts fly into its face, and you just pin it onto the wall. Yeah, and yeah. Oh, and then roll the extra 2d6
That came
damage
from
for you.
Din.
Gotta love them. All right. Okay, cool.
Cousins support each other.
Exactly. Okay, so with that, both bolts fly into the back of the throat of that one, pinning it to the wall, and it drops down dead. Then we will go ahead and hop to Eurydice, as there is only one left alive Eurydice, and it is the one right in front of Nalfian.
Okay, I'm gonna move my full 55.
Okay.
Be a wood elf.
All
And
right.
I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast it.
All right, Eldritch Blast away.
Eldritch
Currently
Blast.
right on the outside of that 30-foot tall grass. Or 33-foot tall grass.
That was...
And with
Oh,
that, okay,
grass.
19, 14 points of force damage. That is enough. As you shoot at it, blasting the head off, it drops down dead. And then I believe you also get some temporary HP, right?
Yeah, even more.
Oh, okay.
Gone down a bit, so now I'm at 9 again.
Okay, all right, cool. Alrighty, so with that, blasting the head off of the creature, you can see that all of the immediate threat has finished. It doesn't seem like there's any more threat around you as you return to that quiet. So, no immediate threat. The dead all around you, what do you guys want to do as you are now exiting out of combat?
I think we better help Din out.
Yes, thank you. I would appreciate that.
Just reach up, pat him on the knee, and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Use it. Done it.
Yeah, for 13. Hey, that's pretty good there. Okay, full healing. There you go. 13. All right, back in the orange.
If we find somewhere we can stop just for 10 minutes or so, I could help all of us feel a bit better, but
I don't think it's a good idea to take 10 minutes if we're meant to, well, get to where we need to be before the distractions are cleared.
yeah, maybe once we get there, we might be able to just do a bit more.
Nalfian's
Keep
gonna
moving.
take a look up this way, yeah, because he wants to keep moving, but he's gonna look at the rooftops now.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check for me as you're just sort of walking along. Okay.
Is there any way I can assist, like, using divine sense if I'm walking up there?
Oh, yeah, actually, yes, that would be a very, very, very good idea. So, as you are walking about, sort of leading up the way with Nalfian, you can begin to just stretch out those senses, peering into that connection that you have with more divine and cosmic and terrible forces, and you begin to channel and listen and hear and look and feel for whatever may be on the horizon. Luckily, the nice part is let's see, what is it, 60 feet? So you can feel that right on the edges there might be some small blips of undead, but using the ability, you have a pretty good idea of the path you need to take in order to avoid those areas where those creatures are at.
In that case, Grok will say, just follow me. No other way.
Yeah, Nalfian will trust him entirely.
Okay. Alrighty.
Double speed. Just get as close as you can.
Alrighty, sounds good to me. So then, as you are moving throughout the streets using Grok to lead your way, one of the nice things about that is, Grok, you're able to get a very good sense of where those creatures are. So although it might take you a little bit longer than taking the most direct path to that building, you, whether it be for better or for worse, being able to reach out, you can get a really good idea of where those undead are. It takes you a little bit longer, but eventually you do get to that building thanks to your ingenuity. And quick thought. So one of the things you do have to do is you do have to take a shortcut through a ruined building, but eventually taking that shortcut through the ruined building, you kind of stop immediately, because what you end up seeing is, well, Twig, you know the building that was referenced. And you know where it is in Highland Pass. There is this huge stretching boulevard right in front of the building, flanked by taverns and inns and shops on each side, and in the middle of it all is that building where people who are coming up from the Underdark, that is the first place they go. So you can see the building from where you're standing. The one that you're standing in right now is across the boulevard from it. And you can see it, but in between that path and where you need to go, there is a cluster. This huge boulevard is currently filled to the brim with those ghouls just kind of moving around, hopping from side to side, keeping an eye out, seemingly not drawn to that conflict on the other side of the city. And the worst part is, the party who was there for the fight with the Furbolgs and the Snake in the Grass, you can see there are these two massive creatures, both on the far end, furthest away from the building, that look very, very similar to that sort of monstrous Furbolg that the Snake in the Grass had made. That more bestial, almost minotaur-like undead. You can see those there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull you all here. It's going to take a second to load because it's a little... Oh.
You were right, Kayla. Final street, at least.
Okay. So
There was another one.
who knows how many more there were, but luckily...
Yes, it says final.
Yeah, that's the important part.
It's like a random twig in the corner. I don't know what it's about.
Yeah, well, because I knew that this map was originally much larger, like pixel-wise, but then I remember last week that was an issue for Lisa's computer. So after I set down all the tokens, I resized it, and then I have no way to actually delete those tokens.
My.
Yo,
It's just
are
funny
we
in the void.
about to Frogger?
Oh my god, honestly.
Yeah, so I'd like you all to get out your Atari sticks and go. No, so you can see that that probably took an hour maybe to weave through all of those. Not an hour, sorry. Like maybe an extra 20 minutes more so to take the extra time, but luckily avoiding any conflict and avoiding any noise. But now the 6 of you stand here at the edge of this conflict. Luckily, this rubble right here is providing a fair bit of cover for you, so none of these creatures, at least right now, know that you're in here. You have a feeling that as soon as you get any closer to, say, the collapsed door or any of the windows over here, you'll have to make some stealth checks. But you at least have this opportunity to sort of plan what you want to do.
Right. So it's getting into the evening, right? So is it starting to get dark?
Actually, yeah. Yeah, it's starting... I mean, because you're so high altitude-wise, and just winters in Tarkir are notoriously dark, it's probably been at least... When you first got in, it was maybe sundown, but now it is, like, pitch black outside.
Right, because, like, Twig is good with darkness, so, like...
Here, I'll give you a proper mood light in here.
I'm just thinking, like, because where do we actually need to go from here?
It is this building over here on the far end.
Okay.
So right across the street, right across the boulevard.
Yeah, I was gonna say try and find like a good path, because like since she's like can be hidden in darkness, but I feel like there's only gonna be one option to go through.
My foundry is completely crashed. If you can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you. Oh no.
Yeah, Lisa died.
Yeah, Lisa said that her computer also died.
Man,
my whole internet thing died for me for a moment, so I'm restarting.
Amy, are you there? Maybe it's just a British thing.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
If only. That'd be so much simpler than any other answer. Oh, let me delete that. Well, here, what I can do at least is I can... Oh, actually, here, wait. Idea time. Just on the temporary, I can share my screen in here, so that way you can at least get a little bit of an idea of what's happening. Okay.
So we need to get to the house across the street, right?
Yeah. It's like right across the street right here. This one right here. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Map.
Shaun of the Dead.
The undead things look like, especially like the big hulking ones, do they look like they're like almost guarding the area? So, I mean, if that's the source, I don't know if it's like they're being like
Right.
posted to be on the lookout, or if it's just like they're just wandering around.
Yeah, you can kind of see the more that you stare at them. Anytime they hear a noise anywhere else, you can tell they want to leave. They want to go. Like they sort of lunge a little bit, but then they just sort of more angrily just sort of focus and knuckle down right here. And you can see that every once in a while, they do move a little bit from time to time.
It's like they're being restrained in this area.
Yeah, they're very, very much so meant to stay here.
I
And
might be able to make some run away, but probably not all of them.
can Nalthian cast darkness?
Just like where?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
I was
trying to
like-
think of how that would be helpful because it's a big ass street, okay?
Like
And
you
it's
can
only
definitely do
Trying to
that.
have a
but-
distraction.
Yeah, because it's a 15-foot river ass.
Wait, is it like light how it could be like on an object, or is it just the area?
It can be on an object.
Because I mean, if you just cast it on like something you got in your person, they could like, you know, move across in a little darkness bubble.
That's not conspicuous at all.
Okay, but it's already dark, so it's like,
The thing is, we
would
can't
they be
see
able to just tell
either.
there's extra darkness?
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're in darkness, you can't see in it either. Is the issue.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like have a little like line out. Oh,
Have
Twig
a
is
darkness
hidden in
ball.
darkness anyways, so like Twig can be like, you know, all holding hands in a little chain and like leading you through.
I mean, wait, God, that's not the right tool.
Just make another explosion.
I'm not gonna lie, like I
What?
feel like that can work though. Like if you guys are all hidden in like magical darkness and Twig is just hidden in regular darkness.
It'd be easier to hide. You'd still have to make stealth checks, but they'd be with advantage because you couldn't be seen. But then it would be sound. Would be the big concern.
Yeah.
Could we
Yeah, but
do?
Twig's selfie, it's fine.
Could we do like an explosion and
Mm.
that at the same time?
But if they're not moving towards sound is the
Fireball.
thing. That's what I was thinking, like, I don't know if a distraction would work if they're meant to just stay in this area.
Yeah, right. Like they're not gonna move away from anything, but it
Could
might
be-
pull their attention away
We'll
from
pull
where
them
we're
to
walking.
one
do
side.
both.
Yeah, we pull them to one side, and then we just go the other side. If we pull them to the left and we go to the right, then that's it helps us even more.
While everyone's chatting about this, Quilp is going to cast Prayer of Healing. So I reckon we'll be discussing this for 10 minutes before we start doing anything.
Oh
And,
yeah.
Sure.
So if someone wants to roll 3d8 and add 9 to it,
Yeah.
Yeah, here.
and that will be for whoever's worst. We've got Grok, Din, and Quilp. I think we all need a fair bit.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that would be what 27 then. And do you just like do all 27 go to each person, or is it like split up between those three?
No, they each get 27.
God damn. All right, cool.
Up to 6 creatures of my choice that I can see within range get 3d8 plus my spellcasting modifier at level 3. Yeah, 3d8 plus. Oh, it's plus 10. Sorry, 3d8 plus 10. So anybody that's poorly, you're better.
So yeah, everybody's back at full, pretty much. Yeah, I think that everybody's back
Hell
up
yeah.
to full. Yeah. So here, I'll go ahead and put Quilp back up to full too. Wait, Quilp does not have 44
battery
HP.
power.
Okay, there we go.
No.
Okay, all right. So everybody's back up to full HP. Just a little bit of drain going on in your spells. So yeah, darkness does work like light, where you can just like Nalthian, you could just tap your dagger, and the darkness would emanate from that and move with you.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like that would definitely help us out, because, like, if they've got sound, then they've just got a direction. Like, they don't have, like, you know, exact eyes on
Mhm.
us like they would with, like, visual. So I think it's definitely worth it.
But now, I feel like there needs to be more to this plan because I feel like it might not be enough.
Well, I mean, if we've got a distraction going, the darkness to help us like sneak through, and if all else fails, then I guess we're getting into combat.
We're gonna fucking run.
Now,
Because I don't think we can fight them.
Den will say that, I don't know if this is possible, but I've heard of some magic that pretty much allows you to, it's not very powerful, but it allows you to almost like throw your voice, create maybe small noises or illusory effects within a certain radius or distance from where you're at. Maybe if we were enshrined in darkness, moving along, and there was a small noise that might distract them a bit. Pull them away from our focus.
Yeah. Okay, so do we want to do that and not cause an explosion instead?
I mean, a full-on explosion might not be great because that's what the original distraction was. That was meant to like draw them in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say if we're doing a distraction, maybe not
Yeah.
so big of one.
Didn't it seem like they
Okay.
were compelled to stay there, though? I thought you
Yeah, but I
said
think
that way.
just to like get their like attention away from where we'd be. Like they'd still physically
Yeah, just
be
make
there,
them, like,
but they'd
look,
be
I
like, you know,
suppose.
distracted.
Mm,
A
okay.
second distraction.
All the distractions.
So, illusion.
I mean, does Eurydice have thaumaturgy?
So I
No.
can't. She doesn't have thaumaturgy because she's not a full tiefling, but she does have minor illusion.
Okay.
I just can't look at my spells right now because I can't get back into Foundry.
Minor
Is
illusion.
minor illusion auditory, or is it only visual?
You create a sound
Sure.
or image of an object
Oh,
within
yeah.
range.
There we go.
Lasts the duration. So it'd be 6 seconds. Make a sound. If you create a sound, its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. It can be your voice, someone else's voice, a lion's roar, a beating of a drum, or other sounds you choose. The sounds continues unbated throughout the duration, or you can make discrete sounds at any time before the spell ends.
So I
change-
can create screams, pretty
Yeah.
much. I can make screams.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, plan. Nalfian's doing darkness. Leading us through that darkness, and then Eurydice's creating screams to get these things' attention away.
What's the range on it, though? Because I imagine,
No
like,
idea.
if there's screams coming from no source, that might look a bit sus.
It's 30 feet.
Okay, so maybe not screams. But I mean, like, even if it's, like, motion noises or something. It's like, sounds like something's there.
Just something moving, like something being knocked over, something being whatever, like that.
Yeah, like, as if, like, you know, we're stealthing over there, but really we're not.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Plan.
So we got a game plan?
I'm good with that.
All right. So then, all of you move towards the exit. Whoa, that was weird. Okay, all of you move towards the exit. And where is that noise going?
That's a great question. We want to go. Which way do we want to go? Do we want to just go straight?
Yeah, you want to go straight
Fast.
up towards this this area right up here.
Route we're taking.
Fastest way between 2 points in a straight line.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also pretty clear, especially, like, in the southern area of it, like, here.
Yeah. And these trees will give us momentary cover.
I mean,
Yeah,
just make
yeah.
sure you don't trip on one of these fucking walls.
Yeah, there's that.
Oh, sorry.
What's happening?
Sorry, I don't know. My screen is freaking out, and I don't know why. What? Is there like a Eurydice somewhere down here that I don't see? That. Oh, all right.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So where's the sound originating from? That's the key here.
that is like gonna be the most trouble for us is the one like on our left, I think.
Well, don't we want people's eyes looking like towards the right rather than where we're at?
Yeah. So there's more people on the right, so you won't want them looking our way.
There's a little flap. Or that's terrible, but where that square is, like over that way.
No, the range is only 30
Or-
feet on minor illusion. That's the only downside.
Oh,
I can
jeez
only
and
get, like,
crow.
there.
My bad. So sorry. Oh, well, that's awkward.
Jesus.
Are we?
But I mean, either way, like, even if it's like just like in this area, like,
I can make it right there, and then they look that way, and then we've like moving already.
yeah. Because wait, is this a cantrip minor illusion?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, like, you know, just keep like changing where it is depending on where we need it.
But is minor illusion visual? Need to be able to see.
It is somatic and material, but in terms of it, yeah, is it a point? No, I suppose that just because its range is 30 feet and it's a 5-foot cube, I guess as long as you have an idea of where that illusion is supposed to be, you don't need to necessarily see the point. So you can be in darkness, and as long as you know generally where it is, should be fine.
Then I'll do what you guys said, and I guess throw it out right in the wrong place, in the place that we're not. We going?
Yeah, let's go. If we get surrounded, I can scare some away as well. So let's hope we'll be all right.
It's a messy plan, but it's best we got.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So then you all, you prepare yourselves, and Nalfian, you cast darkness.
Yeah.
And luckily darkness is a 10 minutes, so area's enveloped in darkness. Now all of you are blinded because you can't.
Question: could we? Sorry. Ah. Fuck. Never mind. There's no way to get through that. Can Nalfian see through this?
No.
I mean, that's
Even
the thing.
if
Like,
he
Twig doesn't
switches-
need to be in it because she's already going to be hidden by darkness.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, she can lead through because she can be outside of it, still be hidden, and then be able to like guide y'all through.
Yeah. The
Like,
issue
just
is
like
is
have
it's-
one hand back into it and like, you know, pull you guys along.
Little daisy
Like I
chain
said,
the
like
hand.
daisy chain up. Like,
Okay,
I'm just
okay,
saying
yeah,
this
we're
is a joke, but it's kind of gonna work.
Okay, we're good. Never mind. Ignore my question.
Yeah, because it's magical darkness. That's the issue. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you daisy chain up. Twig leads you, and you begin to move. I hate that the screen is like freaking out on the on that end. Okay, so all of you begin to move that way, and Nalfian, you cast darkness. Eurydice, you cast the minor illusion. And the minor illusion is the sound of what? Like stone falling over, people rummaging through things?
She's died again.
Oh, damn. No. No. So, what? Well, for all of you, what was the final word there on that?
I mean, probably just like sounds of like rubble and shit moving, like as if there's like another group over there.
Okay.
Oh no, she's back.
Oh. Lisha?
That would make sense though. Like I think we decided screams would be too much.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Alrighty. So then from that spot, the sound of rubble happens. That rocks falling over one another, something, a sign of life in some way, shape, or form to draw these individuals over there. And you can see that as soon as there is that sound of rubble, these 4 right here just begin to sprint that way. These 2 right here do the same, just sprinting towards where all of you just came from. These 3 over here come sprinting down and over right next to where you are. But luckily...
Yeah, I will say if they're, like, getting closer, Twig will try and, like, you know, drift them a little bit. So, like, she's not going to let them just, like, come straight into it.
Yeah. But you make your way over that way. Now, I will say, right as you get to the halfway point here, Twig, you leading them, and now the distraction kind of wore off, the rubble, them seeing that there's nothing there. I would also say that this one probably ran here, running past over to this group over here. I would like all of you to make a stealth check. So for those of you that are within the darkness, that's with advantage. And then I think, Twig, that honestly yours is with advantage, or it has some type of crazy modifier on it.
Well, I mean...
You please roll for me.
Oh, yeah.
Is mine
I'm
just
happy
straight
to
because
take
it'll be
advantage. Like, I
cancelling?
don't think she has anything that would come, like, mechanically, but they can't see where she is, so I imagine that's...
Oh, then
Well, because
advantage,
it then
yeah.
counts as, like, full cover, so I imagine that counts as something, yeah.
Yeah. We'll do, I think it's, we'll just do advantage just because it makes it...
And also, whoever Twig's holding on to, she'll just guidance them as well.
Okay. So we'll say it was Grok in the front because you know Grok's skill when it comes to that.
Shit. We rolled that natural 1.
Oh,
Of
Grok.
course. Advantage. Advantage.
No, it's not.
Is it-
It's
He
not.
wears
'Cause I've
heavy
got
armor.
it.
But he
Oh,
has guidance.
no.
And then, here, Kit, I'll go ahead and roll your stealth check with advantage.
Give it a see.
Can we
Another distraction,
guidance?
please.
Who's got Grok near
Roll
them?
mine.
Yeah, Twig gave Grok guidance. So-
Yeah, but an that one's that one.
So,
That
oh,
one.
so it just averages out, so it just gets a straight roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, are we doing a group
Joe.
average?
Roll
Okay.
for me, please.
Oh,
Can you roll
yeah.
for Eurydice, please?
Yeah, Eurydice. Okay, sheet. Stealth check. Stealth +3.
Okay,
Oh.
question. Can I do something as soon as I hear him, whatever happens?
Okay, so, yeah, as all of you are making your way, I'll say you get right about here, where you are maybe, let's see, what's the distance? You're about 40 feet from the door.
Okay.
And Grok just kind of, this mud that's right here, due to whatever magical effects are permeating this area, this ground is so soft and almost like infested that Grok's foot just kind of sinks and it makes this terrible squelch noise. And then Grok's like metal armor like just catches and begins to like ring and begins to shake and scratch on itself as he's trying to yank his foot out of this just infested mud. Okay, what were you gonna do?
Okay. As soon as that happens, Nalfian's gonna like help Grok up, feel around to try to help him up, and then Shadow Nalf, I want him to appear. Ugh, Shadow Nalf is like immune to effects
Okay.
out
Okay.
here.
Okay, so yeah, you conjure Shadow Nalf to appear, and you can see that Quilp and Eurydice also, they kind of bump into Grok as he falls over, causing everybody to just sort of make like, ooh, noises as they all sort of clash into each other, not being able to see. But as you summon Shadow Nalf, you can see that he sort of brandishes that dagger and pulls out the rapier and just sort of like stands around in a circle. And all of these ghouls that are right here, they just lunge and charge at him, assuming that he is that signal, or he's the origination of that noise. They do not have the intelligence to associate any differently, as they just begin to sprint. Also, the two giant, almost minotaur skeletons begin to sprint over as well, seeing the signs of life, running toward Shadow Nalf. And you can see that Shadow Nalf just brandishes those weapons, and all you can hear is that sort of yelling and screaming from those ghouls as they all charge in and just collapse in on each other as there's nothing for them to grab. All of them, all those like mushy, gross, undead bodies slamming into each other in this cacophony of noise and screams and squelches. Shadow Nalf just vanishing from the damage, and all of you make your way to the door. and you make your way in, shutting the door behind you, just dropping the darkness, and you can see that there is this large armbar that blocks the door and blocks things from being able to enter or exit. If you'd like to throw that down, you can.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
Not throw it down because I don't want to be like noisy, but yeah.
Yes. You gently set it down, so that way you can see that there is no more immediate threat, as you are currently in this abandoned building. This ruined. A lot of the things have been sort of toppled over and knocked down. Any of the benches and the like or chairs and tables and desks. Everything has just been sort of destroyed one way or the other.
And there's no sign of life in here?
No, not at all. No noise, no nothing.
Good. Be on the watch out for that.
Okay. Alrighty.
We need to head east.
So that would just be heading straight. As you head deeper and deeper into this building, you can see that there is a very shortly on your journey, you can see that more pronounced Tarkirian building design eventually begins to transform into more of a cave system. And you can see that several pathways descend down and further deeper down underground. But the area you're looking to go is straight east, and you can see that there is a larger tunnel that just heads eastward. So, I'm assuming that's the direction you're going, right? Don't want to go pop down to the Underdark real quick?
Absolutely not.
Good. Let's go.
Sure. Okay.
Meet
Yeah,
Now's
let's
family.
go.
Be great.
Nah, the farther we get into this, the more and more, like, quiet Nalfi is. Like, he hasn't spoken a word. Like, he doesn't even have a smile on his face. He's just silent.
Knowing that, like, you know, it is, like, got that little thing with the Underdark, Twig will be, like, kind of looking to see how Now's going.
He is a stone wall.
Maybe after this is all finished with, you can all come see my home. I grew up down there, and he kind of points down in the down direction. Not too far further down. It's not all the way down in the Underdark, and it's quite beautiful, really, down in the caverns. We could do a visit after we've sorted all this out on bedtimes.
He's just gonna, like, grab Nalfian's hand. Not doing anything, just to hold it.
Oh.
He will just squeeze her hand, and he's just not gonna say anything.
Okay.
Are you alright, Nalfian?
Focused. There's a lot going on here. We need to make sure we're staying focused. He won't even look at her when he says that, by the way. He's just kind of walking quietly.
Can I, like, try and get a read on his emotion? Can I insight that?
Yeah. Go ahead and make an insight check, yeah. Clickety-clack. Okay. Now, Thean, what's she picking up on? 23, you can answer at your best discretion.
It's hard because it's actually two things, I guess. It's like if she's holding his hand, and he had definitely accepted that, he's shaking because he looks like he's so angry. And that, like, silver to his eyes, it's like almost trying to change to a different color. You know, the look of Shadow Now's eyes, that really glowing red. So it's like a really intense rage, but also a really deep sadness too. But he's fighting really hard not
to be read like an open book, but someone decided to roll a 20. So he's trying really hard to keep it together. So he's just focused on the space ahead of him. He looks like he doesn't want to talk anymore, too.
Yeah, in that case, she'll just like. She won't say anything else, just keep his hand.
Okay. All right.
What is Grok doing? The whole thing. So we're seemingly maybe getting closer to Gelder then.
Looks fine. Just got his anchor on his shoulder and he's just kind of keeping it in the back.
Okay. So you continue to move on throughout the cave system, heading further and further east. And you can see that eventually the caves that head directly east begin to change from a more natural cave system to something that is a little bit more familiar, at least to a degree, where it changes from cave systems to something that looks at least a little way similar to the Dowie ruins that you've been in before. Definitely more modernized and more familiar to what most of you might associate with more modern-day dwarven architecture. But still, regardless, it is definitely dwarven. And you can tell that you are descending a little bit lower altitude. Just, it's not anything steep or drastic, but the further and further you walk, now getting to about 15, 20 minutes walking throughout this cave system, you can see that it begins to shift. And then eventually, getting furthest east as possible, you can see that there is this large stone door. There's a seam down the middle, and there are small divots near the middle of the door, near that seam, that seem to be handles of some sort.
Is there sound coming from the other side? Like, can Nalf put his ear up against it?
Make a perception check. It's going to be very difficult because it's stone. It doesn't exactly transmit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, 22. You can hear sort of this roiling, almost like bubbling noise.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear the crackle of fire as well. But in terms of dialogue or people speaking, not really. Okay.
He's not gonna say anything and just kind of look at everyone's face. Like, he'll open the door if everybody says it's okay. He just has an expectant look on his face.
I mean, I thought that's what we gotta do, so.
Right, he's gonna open it. Slowly.
Okay, so as you slowly open the door, what you can see is a small bridge made of stone over what looks to be a small river of this bright red and orange glowing liquid that is just bubbling in front of you. It's seeming like a little small river of lava. Bridge underneath it. You can hear crackling of magic and arcane energies off to one side, but then you see directly maybe, let's see here, 35 feet in front of all of you is this massive ballista. Very similar to the one that you operated on Twig in the wilderness. And you can see a very familiar face behind it. Hobgoblin with red skin. Geldovan. Holding on to the ballista. And you can just see her behind it, aiming at the six of you. she says, I didn't want to believe it. I told you not to come here, Grok. Move you guys to the map.
You did. That doesn't mean I wasn't going to come. I mean, we only spoke briefly, but I think you've got a good read on me at least. And Grok's just gonna take a step forward. Like, he's not gonna kind of wait. Like, if she says stop, I guess he would slow down, but I don't think he would fully stop.
Okay. She does. Stop. Not a step closer. I want you to understand something, Grok. These people, the ones in this town, I have no great love for them at all. I didn't become a part of this because of some great calling. These people harmed me and my own, and this was the best way for me to get revenge on them.
And the thing is, I get it. Genuinely. You're not... I mean, you're preaching to the choir. I understand, and as he's saying it, he'll take another step.
Step back.
Listen, you just... let me help you. Please. We don't have to do this.
It's too late, Rock. All of that rot outside of the city, the flower behind me right now, it's a pheromone to them. My plan was to burn this city to the ground, kill everyone inside. Since you're here, that means you didn't go to the ruin. That means the others, they freed her. She'll be drawn to the flower.
I'm sorry, Gelderman. I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
This. And he'll misty step right next to her.
Oh shit!
And then as he appears, he's gonna like blast a cannon into her chest.
Oh fuck!
Fuck yeah!
Holy shit! So you can see that as soon as you step, that bolt does fire, and you can see the bolt
Mouth has moved in front of
flies.
Twig.
Yep, and as you misty step away, now that bolt flies directly towards you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
I'm gonna move the blister if it fires. Does that help?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is she able to like push it off course?
Well, because then she could
ready
effectively
for
do
it.
the same thing with anybody's melee ranged weapon attack, period.
Yeah.
Question:
Not-
if Nalf
not
moves,
reaction.
is it gonna hit Twig? He's right
Yes.
behind her.
Yeah.
He's not gonna move. We'll take it.
Okay. So luckily this one is smaller in design, so it doesn't have the same effect as the one Twig wielded, but it still is pretty nasty. I mean, I'll still let you make the dex save to have the damage.
Okay.
But yeah, you're standing in front of Twig. Twig's not going to take any damage. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay. That's all I want to make sure.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck, that's
Hell
fine.
yeah.
That's fine. He'll take that shit all day.
Okay, alrighty. So that is 8 plus 6.
It's still gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But I saw as
So
soon as a Grok moved, I knew something was bad was gonna happen. So Nalf just stepped right there.
14. Ooh, 25. Oh, that was
You
cocked.
can stop counting now.
26. And ooh, okay. So that would have been 30 points of damage from the ballista bolt, but luckily you're able to sidestep out of the way and just sort of smack it as it's passing you at the base of your forearm, and it just barely misses Twig. You feel that bludgeoning pressure underneath your arm, and you take 15 points of piercing damage from that. Whew. So then, Grok, you Misty Step right next to her, and you go ahead and make that attack with advantage because you really, really got the drop on her there. She was definitely not expecting that. Okay, 24. Oh, my goodness. And then, okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and kind of want to change the 6, minimum of 6. 24. Well, okay. All right, so she takes those 12 points of damage from the cannon. Blasts into her side. You can see it hits like partially into her, slams into one of her arms, and the cannonball flies back into the stone pillar behind her right here, crashes into it, and you can feel the room kind of shake a little bit from the damage that was done there. But then you can feel the earth around you shake again. She just shakes her head. Like I said, Grok, you're too late. And you can hear behind you, right back here, there is this cracking sound underneath the earth as just the ground begins to crack and rumble and pull apart. And you can see, you can't see it, but you can hear this just screaming noise as there is this creature that bursts out from the earth. And you can't see it, but I'm going to show it to all of you. The Breed Mother. And as it bursts through, you can hear it just scream and yell, now willing and ready to let all of its children destroy everything that Highland past ever was and ever will be. But sadly, before we can see that fight, we will have to see what happens next time, because that is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session. Big oof.
If you don't feed Calivan to this thing, I quit.
The ballista still is operational, so you have that. Grok didn't blow it up, but yeah. So that is where we're gonna go ahead and end things tonight. So thanks so much for watching. If you did, I hope that all of you enjoyed. I wanna thank all of the wonderful players here for being a part of the mental torture that I may or may not put you through on a semi-weekly basis. But I appreciate that you're such a good sport about it. I love y'all for that. But yeah, so that's where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you all so much for playing. And I guess, like I said, there will be no Athera or Isles or Salamander Coast. Well, there will be Salamander Coast next Tuesday, but then after that, no Athera, no Isles, and no Salamander after that. And then we'll be back after that, since Kayla and I are going to be moving. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, night, whatever it may be. All right. Farewell.